Chapter 761. After hearing Qin Feng's city plan, Long Hair and the beauties were all dumbfounded. You're not building a city, you're building a small country, right? Haha. Young Master Qin, just pretend I didn't say anything. Long Hair, who had been full of fighting spirit just a moment ago, immediately shriveled. Qin Feng, why are you building such a big city? Zhao Lingxian looked at Qin Feng in confusion. Qin Feng originally wanted to build a city because of the system's quest. However, after thinking about it, he decided that since he was going to build a city, he should make it the best city possible. Now that Qin Feng had so many beauties by his side, he naturally wanted to give them a safe and comfortable home. This city was what Qin Feng wanted to give to these women. From now on, this would be everyone's home. In Hero City, Qin Feng was the king, and his women were all queens. This city will be our home from now on, so of course I have to make it the best. Qin Feng didn't mention the system's quest, and only told them his thoughts. The beauties were all moved. They could see Qin Feng's change. Qin Feng went from a hedonistic young master to a powerful Chinese expert. Every day, Qin Feng lived in danger. He fought openly and covertly with the top powers and enemies of China. He shouldered a heavy responsibility that he didn't dare to shoulder before, and the beauties all knew that Qin Feng was working very hard. They also knew that Qin Feng worked so hard because he wanted to bring them safety and happiness. I've already decided on a name for this city. It'll be called Hero City. Long Hair, you'll be responsible for the construction of Hero City. I'll also find some helpers to help you, so you don't have to feel so much pressure. Qin Feng rarely became so serious. Long Hair didn't refuse anymore. With a serious expression, he said, "Don't worry, young Master Qin. I'll do my best to build Hero City." After the beauties confirmed that Qin Feng really wanted to build Hero City, they all became very excited. They surrounded Qin Feng and began to give their opinions and ideas. These beauties were all naturally intelligent, and they quickly thought of many good construction methods and novel ideas. Long Hair took out a pen and paper and earnestly recorded everyone's good ideas. Qin Feng, building such a large city will require a lot of money, right? Liu Chun, who had been silent all this time, suddenly spoke. Her little money-grubber personality hadn't changed. Qin Feng glanced at Liu Chun. Liu Chun was wearing her signature black silk half-skirt dress, which vividly displayed her arrogant body. Qin Feng's gaze involuntarily fell on Liu Chen's beautiful legs. He suddenly thought of Liu Chen's video call in the middle of the night. A ball of fire suddenly rose in Qin Feng's stomach, and he almost couldn't control his emotions. When Liu Chen saw Qin Feng staring at her with a burning gaze, her charming face instantly flushed red. That night, Liu Chen didn't know why, but after eating the blood qi pill that Qin Feng gave her, she inexplicably wanted a man to comfort her. After thinking about it, Liu Chen could only think of Qin Feng. So, for some reason, she opened a video call with Qin Feng, and the two of them actually did it on the video. Now, every time Liu Chen thought about her crazy actions that night, she was so embarrassed that she wanted to dig a hole and hide in it. Why do you keep looking at me? I'm asking you a question. Liu Chen couldn't stand being stared at by Qin Feng. She pretended to be angry and glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng hastily shook his head and threw away the messy thoughts in his mind. Ahem. Of course, we need a lot of money to invest, but money isn't a big problem. Our royal group should have made a lot of money, right? Let's use this money to build the city. If it's still not enough, I'll ask Suqin Pharmaceuticals to invest in us. Qiu Yu has the most money. None of the women present knew Su Qiu Yu, but they went crazy when they heard Suqin Pharmaceuticals. What? You know the female CEO of Suqin Pharmaceuticals? Qin Feng, are you serious? The beauties stared at Qin Feng like hungry wolves, which scared him to death. I am just friends with her. Please, don't misunderstand me, Qin Feng said with a hint of guilt. The beauties were immediately displeased. How can you be friends with her? Hurry up and woo her. Big brother Feng, I want the whitening cream. You must trick the female CEO of Suqin Pharmaceuticals into bed with you and make her our good sister. These beauties said one thing and another. One moment, they complained that Qin Feng was too lecherous, and the next moment, they encouraged Qin Feng to get Su Qiuyu. Qin Feng couldn't get used to it. Su Qin Pharmaceuticals whitening cream and golden sore medicine are very popular these days. They can't be bought in Acropolis City. A few of my friends in Acropolis City said they have to line up at night to get the real product in the morning. My sisters who have used the real whitening cream all say it's very effective. Qin Feng, I want the whitening cream too. Zhao Ling Xian hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly and said coquettishly. Qin Feng couldn't resist Zhao Ling Xian's temptation. This naturally seductive woman was no joke. She could practically steal a man's soul. Ahem, since you all strongly recommend me to get Su Qiuyu, I'll have to compromise. Don't worry, I'll have someone deliver the whitening cream tomorrow. Each of you can have a box. Qin Feng looked very reluctant, and the beauties screamed excitedly. Long hair hurriedly covered his ears. Otherwise, his eardrums would have burst. After shouting for a while, the crazed women finally calmed down, and everyone returned to business. If we have enough funds, it won't be difficult to build the hero city that everyone hopes for. Right now, we're just lacking a lot of manpower. We need to start looking for a construction team and a reliable supervisor. We need to find people to approve some documents to build a school, bank, hospital, and so on. Since we're building our own home, we need to have a good security system. Xiao Jia's going to have her own castle in the future. Big Brother Feng, can I bring my little friends to play in the castle? The beauties brought up problems that they might encounter during the construction of the city. Lu Xiaojia didn't understand these things, so she sat on Qin Feng's lap and danced with joy. After an afternoon of discussion, everyone brainstormed hundreds of things that they needed to pay attention to. Moreover, they discussed effective and reasonable solutions to the difficulties and problems that might occur during the construction. In the afternoon, the general direction of Hero City's construction was decided. Long Hair started to gather people and prepare to start construction. The beauties hadn't seen Qin Feng in a long time, so they chatted with him for the entire afternoon. Afterwards, the beauties went off to do their own things. There were many problems with the construction of Hero City that the beauties needed to use their connections to solve. In the next few days, the mountain resort closed for construction. Long Hair grabbed most of the people from the phone group to do hard labor, while Zhao Lingxian and the other beauties used their connections to find construction teams and material suppliers. Huang Jinghua came to find Qin Feng on the third day after the construction of Hero City. When he saw Qin Feng, he was incredibly excited. Big Brother Chow, I finally found you. I first flew from Hong Kong to the capital, but after asking around for a long time, I found out that you came to Yun Province. I asked around and found out that you were from Acropolis City, but after I went to Acropolis City, I found out that you were at the mountain resort. As soon as Huang Jinghua saw Qin Feng, he poured out his grievances for a long time. Qin Feng didn't think that Huang Jinghua would come to find him. Big Brother Huang, why did you come all the way to find me? Qin Feng asked. Hee. Big Brother Chow, I came under the orders of Division Leader Wu Chang. Now that the Hong Sec's power in Hong Kong is stable, Division Leader Wu Chang wants to expand his power on the mainland. So he asked me to find Big Brother Chow and ask for your help. Huang Jinghua smiled as he scratched his head. Qin Feng was in the middle of building Hero City and lacked strong men. How could Qin Feng let Huang Jinghua go when he came to find him? Okay, I'm also building my own power here. How about I form an alliance with the Hong sect? We can develop together in the future, Qin Feng said with a smile. Huang Jinghua didn't think too much about it. Seeing that Qin Feng agreed so readily, Huang Jinghua was very excited. That's great. In the future, if the Hong sect forms an alliance with Big Brother Chow, we'll be invincible on the mainland. That's right, what's the name of Big Brother Chow's power? Heroes Alliance. I'm currently building a base for the Heroes Alliance here, and I'll call it Hero City. Since you represent the Hong sect in forming an alliance with the Heroes Alliance, then you can help me build Hero City. You came alone? How can you do that? Hurry up and call Division Leader Wu Chang. Tell him that the mainland is developing rapidly, and ask him to send tens of thousands of brothers to build a home. Qin Feng said with a carefree tone, but Huang Jinghua was scared to death. Huang Jinghua looked at the construction teams not far away. There were cranes, excavators, and other construction vehicles. Then, there were the hundreds of people from the phone group working hard on the mountain and digging rocks. Huang Jinghua suddenly felt like he was tricked. Ahem, Big Brother Chow, I might have found the wrong person. Can I go back on my words now? Huang Jinghua looked at Qin Feng with an aggrieved expression. Bang! Qin Feng landed his foot on the ground and left a deep footprint. He said with a smile, "What do you think?" Hee. I'm just kidding. In the mainland of China, other than the Heroes Alliance, which other power is worthy of forming an alliance with the Hong sect? Big Brother Chow, then it's settled. I'll call Division Leader Wu Chang now. I'm sure he'll be furious when he hears this news. Tui, he'll be overjoyed. Qin Feng easily tricked Huang Jinghua. A few days later, he even tricked Huang Jinghua into recruiting 100 elite disciples from Hong sect from Hong Kong. Currently, the construction of Hero City was in its early stages. Qin Feng's biggest concern was safety. He couldn't stay here and wait for the completion of Hero City. He planned to go to Sky City in a few days and destroy the Liang family. Long Hair and the others would be responsible for the construction of Hero City. However, Long Hair, Zhao Lingxian, and the other beauties were still too weak. Now that Huang Jinghua had brought 100 elite disciples from Hong sect to help, Qin Feng was relieved of his concern for everyone's safety. Huang Jinghua was a stage 6 inner chi martial artist, and half of the 100 elite disciples from Hong sect were stage 3 inner chi martial artists. In Acropolis City, this kind of strength was very impressive. Due to the construction of Hero City, the mountain resort was closed. The news quickly spread among the upper class of Acropolis City. The mountain resort was a popular place for the rich and powerful young masters of Acropolis City. How could such a good place for one-night stands suddenly close down? How were these rich and powerful young masters supposed to live? On the 5th day of Hero City's construction, 3 out of the 4 major families of Acropolis City came. Zhang Hui represented the Zhang family, and the elders of the Zhou family and the Xiao family came personally. The 4 major families of Acropolis City had changed a few times because of Qin Feng. The Qin family was still the leader of the 4 major families of Acropolis City. Zhang Hui joined Qin Feng's side, so the Zhang family was ranked second. The elder of the Zhou family, Zhou Ming, had always been wary of Qin Feng, so he stayed in 3rd place. The Xiao family, which was the last of the 4 major families, was a newly promoted family. Chapter 762. Zhang Hui, Zhou Ming, and the Xiao family's elder came to the mountain resort for a simple reason. They received news that an important person had come to the mountain resort, so Long Hair from the phone group brought most of the phone group's people to the mountain resort. According to what he heard, Qin Feng's women in Acropolis City had been using their connections, and it seemed that they wanted to build a large base in the mountain resort. Zhang Hui and the others didn't dare to slight an important person who could summon the phone group and Qin Feng's women. They even guessed that it was Qin Feng who had returned. However, they all saw the video of Qin Feng being punched to death by the wolf-headed monster at Devil Beast Mountain a few months ago. He was beaten into a pool of blood, so there was no way for him to revive, right? When Zhang Hui and the others saw Qiao Feng, they all let out a sigh of relief. As expected, this important person wasn't Qin Feng. Otherwise, the 3 of them would have felt like they'd seen a ghost. Zhang Hui and the other 2 didn't know who Qiao Feng was, but they were extremely respectful towards him. If they wanted to survive in the Cloud Province, they had to look at the Qin clan's face. Ever since Qin Feng died, everyone had to look at the faces of Qin Feng's women. Hero City was in its construction phase, and Zhang Hui and the others' arrival was exactly what Qin Feng wanted. Qin Feng immediately arranged for the 3 major families to send people to help build Hero City. Zhang Hui and the others had no objections, and they practically mobilized the power of their entire families to help Qin Feng. The team building Hero City became more and more magnificent, and the construction speed increased day by day. Qin Feng saw that the construction was starting to stabilize, so he prepared to go to Sky City. Hey, this is a construction site. Unauthorized personnel are not allowed to enter. At the entrance of the mountain resort, a group of well-dressed rich young masters arrived. The Feng group members in charge of guarding the entrance immediately stopped them. There were 5 people in total, and each of them had a sexy and charming woman in their arms. Behind them were 4 black-clothed bodyguards. After the 5 rich young masters were stopped, they immediately started cursing. "Motherfucker, do you know who we are? You dare block our way. You're looking to die, brat. Hurry up and fuck off. We're in a good mood today, but when we get angry, even we're scared of ourselves." The 5 rich young masters were arrogant and despotic. They didn't put the guards in their eyes at all. The Feng group members all had bad tempers. They didn't think that someone would dare to behave atrociously against the Feng group in Acropolis City. The 10 guards immediately scolded back. "Open your dog eyes wide and take a good look. This place is being guarded by the Feng group. In the future, the mountain resort will not be open to the public. Hurry and scram." Shouting at the Feng group in Acropolis City? "I think you're tired of living." Out of the 5 young masters, 2 of them were children of Acropolis City's 5 small families, while the other 3 were from large families in the capital. The rich young masters from the capital heard that Acropolis City's mountain resort had good scenery and many beautiful girls, so they came to relax. They didn't think that as soon as they arrived, they would be closed and blocked outside by a group of hoodlums. This immediately enraged them. "Zhang Xing, Sun Peng, what the hell is going on?" A man in a white sleeveless shirt took off his sunglasses and stared at the 2 people behind him. Zhang Xing and Sun Peng, who were being questioned, were disciples of Acropolis City's 5 small families. When they found out that the guards here were members of the Feng group, they immediately softened. Zhang Xing bitterly said to the young master in the sleeveless shirt, "Young Master Lu, why don't we change places? The Feng group is Acropolis City's #1 power. Sun Peng and I can't afford to offend them." Young Master Lu and the other 2 rich young masters' expressions immediately darkened. As young masters of the capital, they naturally didn't know the situation in Acropolis City. In the eyes of these 3 rich young masters, the #1 power in a small place like Acropolis City that even birds wouldn't shit in was a bird's egg. Wasn't it something that they could step on whenever they wanted? "Pa!" The man called Young Master Lu slapped Zhang Xing's head and angrily yelled, "What bullshit Feng group? We came all the way from the capital and even took off our pants, and now you're telling us this? You don't think it's shameful, but we're all shameful. Where will we put our faces in the future?" Zhang Xing didn't even dare to let out a fart after being slapped. He even had to smile and say, "Haha, Young Master Lu, Young Master Gao, and Young Master Luo, you're not from Acropolis City, so you don't know how powerful the Feng group is. My family's elder strictly forbade me from offending the Feng group. I really can't do anything about it." Sun Peng also had a worried expression as he said, "Zhang Xing is right. My family's elder has warned me countless times that even if I have to offend the mayor of Acropolis City, I mustn't offend the people of the Feng group. If I offend them, the elder will kick me out." Zhang Xing and Sun Peng spoke with serious expressions, but young Master Lu and the other 2 had disdainful expressions. Wasn't it just a small underground power in Acropolis City? Did they have to make it so exaggerated? As expected, people from small cities had never seen the world. A small power scared them half to death. The 3 young masters from the capital were Lu Chao of the Lu family, Gao Feixiang of the Gao family, and Forgotten Sea of the Luo family. Gao Feixiang and Forgotten Sea were from one of the 5 small families in the capital. Lu Chao was even more powerful as he was from one of the 4 large families in the capital, the Lu family. These 3 people relied on the power of their families and usually acted like tyrants in the capital. Now that they came to the small Acropolis City, they were even more arrogant and unbridled. "You bunch of trash. This young master is warning you one last time. Hurry and scram, or else you'll regret it." Lu Chao yelled impatiently. The faces of the Feng group's people were ashen. They had dominated Acropolis City for a long time, and when had they ever suffered this kind of humiliation? The guards were all hot-tempered. The 10 of them roared angrily and pounced on Lu Chao, refusing a toast only to drink a forfeit. "You're asking for a beating." Bang! A muffled sound suddenly rang out, but it wasn't the sound of the Feng group beating up Lu Chao and the other rich young masters. Lu Chao and the other two young masters from the capital stood with their hands behind their backs. They looked at the fight in front of them with playful expressions. Two of the four bodyguards standing behind them had already stepped in front of the rich young masters and knocked down the 10 members of the Feng group in 2 or 3 moves. Seeing this scene, Zhang Xing and Sun Peng trembled in fear. They really didn't want to have a conflict with the Feng group, but the bodyguards of the 3 rich young masters from the capital had already made a move. There was clearly no room for reconciliation. TSH, just a group of normal hooligans scared you this much? This is the #1 power in Acropolis City. AI, you two are such a disgrace. Seeing the Feng group members who couldn't even withstand a single blow, Lu Chao and the other two had arrogant and disdainful expressions on their faces. They even mocked Zhang Xing and Sun Peng. Zhang Xing and Sun Peng lowered their heads and stood to the side. They didn't know what to say. They were still a bit worried. The Feng group was clearly more powerful than what they saw. Cough cough. Why you dare to cause trouble in the Feng group's territory? You'll regret it. After the Feng group members were knocked down, none of them admitted defeat. The 10 Feng group members endured the pain in their bodies and stood up. They glared at Lu Chao and the others like tigers watching their prey. Lu Chao was completely enraged. He said in a cold voice, "I'll give you one last chance. Hurry up and leave, or else I'll kill you." The Feng group members stood in a row and firmly blocked their path. Don't even think about it. Brother Longhair has ordered that the mountain resort will be closed for reconstruction. Unless you step over our dead bodies, humph. Since you want to die, Abao, kill them. Lu Chao's eyes were spitting fire as he directly ordered the bodyguard beside him. It was as if in the eyes of these rich young masters, the lives of 10 people were as worthless as 10 ants. Whoosh! The bodyguard standing next to Lu Chao flashed and appeared beside the Feng group member in an instant. He slapped the bodyguard with his stage 5 inner chi, aiming for the Feng group member's life with his palm. His attack was aimed at the Feng group member's life. Bang! A muffled sound rang out, and the bodyguard in the black suit was sent flying. Immediately after, a rhythmic slap sounded. Slap, 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 slap. You want to touch my little brother? Are you asking for a beating? A black shadow flew over. The Feng group members were dumbfounded. A tall and sturdy figure suddenly appeared in front of them. This person was Big Brother Chao Feng. Big Brother Chao sent the bodyguard in the black suit flying as soon as he arrived. Now he was angrily slapping Lu Chao's handsome and fair face. Qin Feng's speed was so fast that the remaining 3 bodyguards only regained their senses after he slapped Lu Chao's face into a pig's head. Stinking brat! Stop right now! When the 3 bodyguards saw young Master Lu's face being slapped, they were so frightened that they immediately swung their fists. Qin Feng glanced at the 3 of them with a look of disdain in his eyes. He kicked out and sent the 3 bodyguards flying with 3 simple kicks. Thud! Qin Feng's figure landed on the ground again, and Gao Feixiang and the others were dumbfounded. Zhang Xing and Sun Peng were so scared that their legs started to tremble. They already knew that the Feng group was very powerful. Now that an expert from the Feng group had come, the 2 of them regretted accompanying the 3 young masters from the capital here. Gao Feixiang and Forgotten Sea were young masters from the capital who had seen the world, so they quickly regained their senses. The panic in their hearts turned into anger, and they yelled at Qin Feng. You dare to touch young Master Lu? Do you know who young Master Lu is? You're dead for sure today. Brat, I'll call people right now. Young Master Lu, I'll take revenge for you. Slap. Forgotten Sea had just pulled out his phone when Qin Feng sent him flying with a slap. Qin Feng grabbed Forgotten Sea's collar with one hand and lifted him high into the air like a little chick. You guys are from the capital? After hearing young Master Lu's name, Qin Feng guessed a bit. Forgotten Sea thought Qin Feng was afraid of him, so he immediately yelled arrogantly, "Let me tell you, we're all rich young masters from the capital. The person you just hit is the young master of the Lu family, one of the 4 major families in the capital. I'm the young master of the Luo family, one of the 5 minor families in the capital. You're just a nobody from the Acropolis City, and you dare to offend us. Just wait to collect your corpse today." Forgotten Sea babbled a bunch of nonsense. Qin Feng picked his ear and said, "Oh, you're from the Luo family? What's your name?" Forgotten Sea was slightly stunned. He felt that this man's expression didn't change at all after hearing the names of the 4 major families and the 5 minor families in the capital. Forgotten Sea had an inexplicable bad feeling in his heart, but he forced himself to yell, "Look carefully. I'm Forgotten Sea from the Luo family. I'm the representative of the younger generation, Luo Bin. That's my big brother." "Oh, so that idiot is your big brother. As expected, you Luo family members are all the same." Whoosh! Just as Forgotten Sea finished yelling, Qin Feng threw Forgotten Sea into the Song River at the side. "Forgotten Sea? That's a pretty good name. Then you're going to fall into the sea," Qin Feng said to himself, twitching his mouth. Gao Feixiang and the others were dumbfounded as they watched Forgotten Sea draw a beautiful arc in the air and fall into the river. At this time, Qin Feng had already arrived at Gao Feixiang's side. "That's right, that idiot said you were from the capital's Gao family, right? What's your name?" Gao Feixiang was no longer as arrogant as before. His legs trembled as he said, "I am Gao Feixiang from the Gao family. I'm warning you, the Gao family is very powerful." Before Gao Feixiang could finish his sentence, Qin Feng kicked Gao Feixiang dozens of meters into the air. "TSK, TSK. People from big cities really know how to give names. Feixiang. Feixiang, now you're flying. AA 2705221. Chapter 763. Less than 3 minutes after Qin Feng's arrival, the entire situation had undergone an earth-shattering change. The 4 bodyguards that Lu Chao brought were all knocked down, and they still couldn't get up. Lu Chao's head was swollen like a pig's. He didn't even dare to speak. Every time he opened his mouth, he would scream in pain. Lu Hai fell into river song, and no one knew if he was dead or alive. Gao Feixiang fell from mid-air and smashed a deep hole in the ground. Zhang Xing and Sun Peng were standing to the side, safe and sound. However, the 2 of them were so scared that they were covered in sweat. It was as if they were drenched in rain. "You 2 are also from the capital?" Qin Feng had already arrived beside the 2 of them. With a plop, the 2 of them knelt in front of Qin Feng in fear. "Big brother, we're not from the capital. We're from Acropolis City's 5 small families. Big brother, don't hit us. We didn't want to go against the phone group. We just wanted to come to the mountain resort to play. We didn't think that the mountain resort was being rebuilt." Zhang Xing and Sun Peng were so regretful that their intestines turned green. Originally, the 2 of them wanted to flatter the young masters of the capital and specially arranged for Lu Chao and the others to come to the mountain resort to play. Who knew that they would encounter such a thing? Qin Feng calmly looked at the 2 of them and said coldly, "Hurry up and scram. Tell your families to send people to help the phone group rebuild the city. If I don't see your people in 2 days, I will personally go to your residences to visit. Big brother. Don't worry, we'll go back and report this." Zhang Xing and Sun Peng were so scared that they peed their pants. They didn't even care about the safety of the 3 young masters of the capital. They were like clay bodhisattvas crossing the river. They couldn't even protect themselves, so how could they care about others? After the 2 left, Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang became even more afraid. After all, they were the young masters of the capital. Now that they were left in a mountain resort that they were not familiar with, there was no one to help them. "Tell me, how do you want to solve this?" Qin Feng looked at Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang with a smile. Lu Chao was furious. Even in the capital, he had never been beaten so badly. However, he was under someone else's roof, so he had no choice but to lower his head. Lu Chao pretended to admit defeat and waited to leave before finding reinforcements to kill Qin Feng. This is our fault. Big brother, please tell us how to deal with it," Lu Chao said humbly. Qin Feng could see the unwillingness hidden in the depths of Lu Chao's eyes. He smiled and said, "Since you're both disciples of the capital's big families, I won't make things difficult for you. Go back. After you get home, each of you just need to invest 50 million in Hero City." Qin Feng spoke casually. Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang stared at Qin Feng in astonishment. They wondered if this person was mentally ill. 50 million in one go. Do you think our family runs a bank? What's wrong? Do you think this method isn't good? Qin Feng's expression turned cold as he asked. Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang immediately came to themselves. Good, that's a good idea. It's settled then. Big brother, let's go back first. When we get home, I'll transfer the money to you immediately. The two of them turned around and ran. They were only delaying Qin Feng. After they left, they wouldn't be human if they didn't find someone to kill Qin Feng, let alone transfer the money. Qin Feng sneered as he watched Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang run away. Throw these 4 bodyguards into the river. Qin Feng waved his hand, and the 10 members of the Feng group guarding the door immediately became excited. Earlier, they were beaten up by 2 of the 4 bodyguards. Now, it was finally time for them to take revenge. The bodyguards were thrown into the river one by one, and the mountain resort regained its peace. There were construction teams all around, and the plan to build Hero City was in full swing. Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang ran a few kilometers in one breath. When they saw that no one was chasing them, the two of them sat on the ground and took a deep breath. Young Master Lu, young Master Gao, hurry and save me. Not long after the two of them sat down, they suddenly heard a shout. The two of them jumped up from the ground and started running for their lives. Young Master Lu, young Master Gao, don't run. Gulyalu. Save me, hurry, Gulyalu. The cry for help rang out again, and the two of them suddenly stopped halfway. Fuck! It doesn't look like they're chasing us. Is that the sound of falling into the sea? Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang finally came back to their senses. They were scared stiff by Qin Feng. They thought Qin Feng suddenly changed his mind and sent people to chase them. After the two of them calmed down, they ran to the riverside and saw Forgotten Sea holding a large tree branch and floating in the river. Behind Forgotten Sea were 4 men. They were Lu Chao's 4 bodyguards. Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang hurriedly found ropes and pulled the 5 people ashore. The 5 of them were completely soaked, and they looked like 5 drowning dogs. Fuck, he actually dared to throw me into the river. I'm so angry. Forgotten Sea panted heavily as soon as he came ashore, and he didn't forget to curse Qin Feng. Lu Chao and Gao Feixiang also had a belly full of anger. They also cursed, that brat is too arrogant. We already told him our identities, and he still dared to make a move? Is he courting death? Young Master Lu, I can't take this lying down. Your family is the most powerful among us, so why don't you find some experts to teach that brat a lesson? Lu Chao was silent for a while. He suddenly looked at the 4 bodyguards and asked, how did you get sent flying by that brat? What's his strength? Lu Chao brought 4 bodyguards. 2 of them were stage 4 inner chi, and the other 2 were stage 5 inner chi. This kind of strength was definitely not to be underestimated in a second-tier city other than the provincial capital. They didn't expect Qin Feng to beat them up so easily. The 4 bodyguards were immediately embarrassed. They had lost all their dignity. In order to not lose too much face, one of them said, young Master Lu, that brat is very powerful. I'm guessing that he's at least a stage 6 inner chi expert. Otherwise, he wouldn't have defeated us so easily. Stage 6 inner chi experts were rare even in the provincial capital. This was a true powerhouse of the ancient martial arts world. Lu Chao and the other 2's expressions became gloomy. They couldn't understand how a small Acropolis city could have a stage 6 inner chi expert. So what if he's just a stage 6 inner chi expert? What's so great about that? I'll call my family and get the 2 stage 7 inner chi guards to come here. I'm going to kill that brat today. Gao Feixiang and Forgotten Sea didn't let Lu Chao take care of Qin Feng by force. Then Forgotten Sea and I will contact the political forces in Acropolis City and Yunhai Province. That brat seems to be trying to build a base here. I'll make sure he can't proceed with his project. After Gao Feixiang finished speaking, Forgotten Sea chimed in. All right, I'll call the political forces in the provincial capital and try to get more people to come here. Lu Chao and the others had come up with a countermeasure and were making calls. Qin Feng was drinking iced fruit juice under an umbrella by the beach of the mountain resort when Huang Jinghua rushed to him. Big brother Chao, what can I do for you? After the incident with Lu Chao and the others, Qin Feng felt the security of the mountain resort needed to be improved. He looked at Huang Jingua and said, "Big brother Huang, I'll leave the security of Hero City to you. Help me guard this place when I'm not here." Qin Feng and Ao Wuchang were sworn brothers, and the young miss of Hong sect, Ao Shaowan, was interested in Qin Feng. In Huang Jinggua's eyes, Qin Feng's words were equivalent to division leader Wuchang's. "Don't worry, big brother Qiao. I'll build an elite team of guards tomorrow to be responsible for the security of Hero City." Qin Feng nodded. He pulled Huang Jingua into a detailed discussion about the security of Hero City. After a while, a quarrel broke out not far away. "Big brother Qiao, bad news. Those bastards are calling for reinforcements." A member of the phone group rushed to Qin Feng and reported the situation. Qin Feng slowly got up from his chair. He wasn't surprised that Lu Chao and the others came back to cause trouble. When they left, Qin Feng could see that they were unwilling. "Big brother Huang, someone came to cause trouble while we were talking about the security. Let's go and have a look." Qin Feng smiled at Huang Jingua. Huang Jinggua's face darkened. He shouted heroically, "Humph! How dare they cause trouble in Hero City? I'll kill them." Qin Feng and Huang Jingua swaggered to the crowd. A large group of people stood at the entrance of the mountain resort. Half of them were members of the phone group, and the other half were reinforcements brought by Lu Chao and the other two young masters. Apart from Lu Chao's 4 bodyguards, 2 elders in their 50s arrived. Behind them were more than 20 lackeys. "The bastard who hit your elder in front. Hurry up and fucking show yourself." Qin Feng heard Lu Chao's arrogant yell before he even reached him. Before Qin Feng could speak, Huang Jinggua's figure flashed and disappeared from Qin Feng's side. Slap! In the next moment, the dull sound of a slap reverberated in the air. Lu Chao already had a pig's head. His face was slapped again, and he wailed in pain. "Slap! Slap! Slap! Where did this stinky fly come from? How dare you behave atrociously in Hero City? Your grandpa Huang will teach you a lesson today." Huang Jingua was a Layer 6 expert. His attacks were extremely fast. His hands moved left and right, and they formed afterimages in the eyes of the phone group members. The people behind Lu Chao were dumbfounded. They had just arrived, and young Master Lu had just started shouting and threatening words. In the end, the other side attacked without saying anything. This sudden action was difficult for them to adapt to. "Ah, Uncle Li, Uncle Zhao, what are you standing there for? Hurry and attack." Lu Chao felt like his head was about to be slapped off. He opened his mouth and screamed in pain. Uncle Li and Uncle Zhao came back to their senses. These two were the Layer 7 inner guards that Lu Chao called over from the Lu family. The two of them rushed over after being hit, so they were still a bit dizzy. Rumble. Uncle Li was the first to come back to his senses. He didn't waste any words. With a sinister expression, he slammed his palm towards Huang Jinggua's chest. Huang Jinggua's expression changed drastically. He felt an aura of death suddenly envelop him. Huang Jingua immediately dropped Lu Chao and met Uncle Li's attack head-on. Bang! The two palms collided, and the air exploded. Uncle Li forcefully suppressed the churning blood in his stomach and retreated 3 steps before stabilizing his body. Huang Jingua was in an even worse state. He flew backwards and spat out a large mouthful of blood in midair. In the end, Qin Feng caught him. "Brother Huang, are you all right?" Qin Feng's expression darkened. He didn't expect Lu Chao to call a Layer 7 inner chi expert over so quickly. Huang Jingua forcefully suppressed the blood in his throat and swallowed it back down. "Big brother Chao, I'm fine. I'll be fine after some rest." Qin Feng patted Huang Jinggua's shoulder and signaled him to rest. "Who are you?" Qin Feng leaped and arrived in front of Uncle Li, Old Li, the guard of the Lu family in the provincial capital. "Who are you, brat? How dare you injure the young master of the Lu family?" Uncle Li glared at Qin Feng with disdain. It was obvious that he didn't take Qin Feng seriously. "You don't deserve to know." Bang! Qin Feng waved his hand and sent out a palm strike. A vast and boundless aura suddenly enveloped Uncle Li. The disdain on Uncle Li's face instantly turned into shock. He felt as if he was trapped by the Grim Reaper. He didn't even have the chance to escape. Uncle Li was sent flying by Qin Feng's palm strike. He fell to the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. Uncle Zhao's eyes were also filled with shock. Qin Feng's strength was simply too powerful. Uncle Zhao wanted to retreat. AA 2705221. Chapter 764. You're also a guard of the Lu family? Are you looking for trouble in my territory? Uncle Zhao didn't dare to attack, but that didn't mean Qin Feng would let him go. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, another palm flew out. Uncle Zhao experienced the same feeling as Uncle Li. That powerful aura made it difficult for Uncle Zhao to breathe. Even his movements and speed became sluggish. Not to mention counterattacking, he didn't even have the space to dodge. Boom! With a loud sound, Uncle Zhao fell to the ground and landed next to Uncle Li. The two of them looked at each other and coughed up blood. The atmosphere froze. Lu Chao, Gao Feixiang, and Forgotten Sea were all dumbfounded. The four bodyguards who had been abused before didn't even dare to breathe. Qin Feng's strength was beyond everyone's imagination. The two bodyguards just now were level 7 of the Lu family, but they couldn't even withstand one move from Qin Feng. Seeing that Qin Feng had avenged him, Huang Jinghua, who was sitting on the side and healing, was elated. Qin Feng walked to Forgotten Sea with a smile. Huh? You look a little familiar. Why are you sweating all over today? It's a refreshing autumn day. Let me help you take a shower in the river. No. Forgotten Sea had just climbed out of the Song River, and he didn't want to fall in again. However, before Forgotten Sea's voice faded away, he had already fallen into the Song River with a splash. Qin Feng threw Forgotten Sea away and looked at Gao Feixiang like nothing had happened. Huh? You look a little familiar too. Are you trying to escape? Then I'll help you. Gao Feixiang's heart-wrenching scream came from the sky. He was kicked into the air by Qin Feng. He floated dozens of meters in the air and fell head first into the beach. Only Lu Chao and the 4 black-clothed bodyguards were left because the other 20 or so reinforcements were surrounded and beaten by the Feng group. Before Qin Feng could open his mouth, the 4 bodyguards suddenly ran towards Song Jiang. With a splash, the 4 bodyguards jumped into the surging river in unison, saving Qin Feng the effort of kicking them. At this moment, Lu Chao stood alone in the cold wind. His tall and thin body shivered. He regretted coming back to cause trouble for Qin Feng. This person was simply a monster. Such valiant skills were rare even in the capital. What are you doing here? Before Qin Feng could make a move, a group of middle-aged men in suits and leather shoes suddenly ran over from nearby. I'm Chief Feng from the Capital City Planning Bureau. I received a report of illegal construction here. Who is the person in charge here? I'm the Deputy Governor of Yun Province. It's said that someone is carrying out a tofu dregs project here. I demand that you stop the construction immediately. You are the developer of this site? I'm Deputy Chief Gao of the Provincial Public Security Bureau. Someone reported you for fighting and injuring someone. Come with me now. More than a dozen men came at once, and they were all senior leaders of different government agencies. Seeing these people coming over, Lu Chao immediately became confident, as if he had seen his own father. Deputy Chief Gao, I'm from the Lu family in the capital. Look at my face. It was hit by that brat. Hurry up and arrest him. If this violent maniac isn't locked up, he'll be a threat to society. And Chief Feng, I've looked into it. This is an illegal private building. Hurry up and bring your men to seal off this construction site. As a member of the Lu family in the capital, Lu Chao knew almost all of the senior officials and wealthy businessmen in the capital. These senior officials also knew Lu Chao. He was a member of the Lu family, one of the 4 most powerful families in the capital. How dare this brat offend the young master of the Lu family? He would not be able to survive in China in the future. Deputy Chief Gao's face darkened, and he walked toward Qin Feng with handcuffs in hand. Before Qin Feng could react, a dark shadow flickered in front of him. Huang Jinghua stood in front of Qin Feng and slapped him across the face. Slap! The slap was not light, and the Deputy Chief Gao's body wobbled as if he was about to fall to the ground. Lu Chao and the other senior officials widened their eyes, and their jaws dropped to the ground. Is this guy crazy? How dare he slap the deputy chief Gao without saying a word? You bastards! How dare you stir up trouble in Brother Chao's territory? Get the fuck out of here, or else I'll kill you all. The Hong sect was the dominant force in Hong Kong. Even the senior officials of Hong Kong had to give them some face. Huang Jinghua had been in the Hong sect for a long time, and he had not adapted to the new environment since he had just arrived in the mainland. When he heard Deputy Chief Gao, a mere deputy chief of a branch office, dared to stand up and shout at him, he lost his temper. You dare to slap Deputy Chief Gao? You're finished. The senior officials finally regained their senses, and they threatened Huang Jinghua incredulously. Huang Jinghua's face darkened, and he said unhappily, "Motherfucker, how dare you threaten me? You're asking for a beating." Huang Jinghua was a hot-tempered person. If he didn't agree with him, he would fling away his arm and start slapping the faces of those people. Slap, slap, slap. There were rhythmic slapping sounds all around, and everyone was instantly slapped into pig heads and faces. But those high-ranking officials had already forgotten the pain, and were still staring at Huang Jinghua with an incredulous expression. Until now, they still didn't understand. Where did this brat get the courage to hit them? Lu Chao was dumbfounded. Huang Jinghua's slaps had completely destroyed his confidence. Lu Chao wasn't an idiot. When he saw Qin Feng's calm expression from beginning to end, Lu Chao suddenly became nervous. He felt as if he had provoked an important person that he shouldn't have provoked. Let me tell you, this is Brother Chao's territory. In Hero City, only Brother Chao has the final say. I don't care if you're a senior official or an immortal. Once you're here, you'd better crawl. After slapping the senior officials, Huang Jinghua roared at the senior officials. The senior officials stared at Huang Jinghua in disbelief. They felt as if they had been transported to another world. Could it be that the land under their feet was no longer the land of China? Fine, you've got guts. Let's see who will be the last one standing. Lu Chao was afraid of Qin Feng, so he didn't dare to boast too much. He glared at Qin Feng and Huang Jinghua, turned around, and prepared to leave with the senior officials. In any case, Qin Feng's subordinates had already violently beaten up all the high-ranking officials present. Lu Chao believed that Deputy Chief Gao and the others would definitely think of ways to torture Qin Feng to death. Wait, Deputy Chief Gao, right? Come here. I have something to show you. Qin Feng spoke suddenly. His voice was calm, but to Lu Chao and the senior officials, it sounded like a demon from hell was summoning them. They were so scared that they stopped and didn't dare to move. What do you want to show me? Just take it out. I can see it. Deputy Chief Gao was scared of Huang Jinghua, so he didn't dare to approach Qin Feng. Huang Jinghua's face turned cold. He raised his arm and roared, "Come here if Brother Chao asks you to. Why are you talking so much nonsense?" Okay. I'll come here. Brother, don't hit me. Let's talk about it. Deputy Chief Gao trembled with fear and ran to Qin Feng. Qin Feng took out a small blue certificate and threw it to Deputy Chief Gao. Deputy Chief Gao caught it in puzzlement. When he saw the 2 golden seals of Dragon Sect on the blue book, he was so scared that he almost threw the certificate away. You. Deputy Chief Gao was so scared that he couldn't speak clearly. He didn't expect that he would offend a member of Dragon Sect. Moreover, it was clearly written in the book that this person was the deputy leader of Dragon Sect Huang Group. You. What about you? Are you mute? Huang Jinghua was a hot-tempered man. Seeing that Deputy Chief Gao couldn't say a complete sentence, he was so anxious that he raised his arm to hit him again. Plop! Deputy Chief Gao couldn't bear the pressure anymore and directly knelt in front of Qin Feng. Big Brother Chao, I didn't recognize you. Please forgive me this time, Big Brother Chao. After knowing Qin Feng's identity, Deputy Chief Gao couldn't be arrogant anymore. He was just a small deputy chief of the Jindu branch and was nothing in front of Dragon Sect. Any member of Dragon Sect could talk to the mayor of a second-tier city on equal footing. Deputy Chief Gao, what are you doing? Lu Chao and the other high-ranking officials from other departments were stunned when they saw this scene. Deputy Chief Gao acted as if he didn't hear them and started to draw a line with them. Big Brother Chao, these bastards are here to frame you. I'll help you arrest them all. Deputy Chief Gao suddenly stood up and took out his handcuffs to handcuff the high-ranking officials. Deputy Chief Gao didn't arrest Lu Chao because Lu Chao was from the Lu family in Jindu. Deputy Chief Gao couldn't afford to offend him. Deputy Chief Gao, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? The high-ranking officials who were arrested were furious. They wanted to struggle out, but Deputy Chief Gao was stronger than them. They couldn't break free at all. What am I doing? Of course, I'm going to arrest you. Deputy Chief Gao had decided to stand on Qin Feng's side because Dragon Sect's status was so high that he couldn't hesitate. The high-ranking officials who were arrested gnashed their teeth in anger, but Deputy Chief Gao ignored them and brought them to Qin Feng. Big Brother Chao, do you still want to deal with them? Deputy Chief Gao looked at Qin Feng respectfully. I'm very busy. I don't have time to deal with these bastards. Just help me handle this matter. Don't let me down. Qin Feng said indifferently. Okay, don't worry, Big Brother Chao. I'll handle it impartially. Deputy Chief Gao couldn't stay any longer. He seized the opportunity and hurriedly left with the high-ranking officials. Lu Chao was left standing on the beach in a daze. He was trembling with fear and felt that a gust of wind could blow him away. Huh? You look a little familiar. Tell me, how are you going to solve this matter? Qin Feng looked at Lu Chao with a smile. Lu Chao's teeth began to chatter. He said nervously, I am really sorry this time. I'll follow Big Brother Chao's arrangement. No matter how stupid Lu Chao was, he could see it now. The so-called Big Brother Chao in front of him was not only powerful, but also very powerful. Otherwise, why would Deputy Director Gao suddenly turn against him and arrest the other senior officials? Okay, then I won't make things difficult for you. I asked you to pay 50 million before, but you thought it was too little. Since you're here again, I'll pay 10 times more this time. 500 million. I want it by this time tomorrow. Not just your family, but also the two brats from the Gao and Luo families. Help me inform them. Qin Feng smiled and patted Lu Chao's shoulder. Lu Chao was stunned like a zombie. He suddenly felt unwell. Big Brother Chao, this brat still hasn't left. Can I play with him? Huang Jinghua was injured by Lu Chao's guards, so he kept an eye on Lu Chao. Do whatever you want. Just don't kill him. This brat is worth 1.5 billion now. Qin Feng's voice drifted over. In the next second, Lu Chao's screams resounded on the beach. Qin Feng didn't look at the scene because he didn't dare to look at the cruel screams. AA 2705221. Chapter 765. After Lu Chao, Gao Feixiang, and Forgotten Sea escaped, they didn't dare to find someone to deal with Qin Feng anymore. They immediately returned to their families and told their family members what happened. The Lu family, Gao family, and Luo family immediately started to investigate them. After the investigation, they found out that they offended Dragon Sect's Chao Feng. Chao Feng's reputation in the capital had skyrocketed recently. In the Soaring Cloud manner, he had forced Purple Dragon Su Xiaotian into a corner. In the end, he had even sent him a death invitation. Moreover, the 4 young masters of the capital had all become his underlings. Lu Shu, Sima Xiang, and Yang Can had to bow down to him. Knowing that they had provoked such a powerful ancestor, Lu Chao and the other 2 felt so regretful that their intestines turned green. The 3 of them were punished by the elders of their respective clans, and were almost expelled from their clans. Fortunately, Chao Feng did not pursue this matter further. He only requested that each of the 3 families fork out 500 million to settle the matter. 500 million was not a small amount for the 3 families, but the fact that they could use money to settle this conflict made the higher-ups of the 3 families heave a sigh of relief. After Qin Feng beat Lu Chao away for the second time, he didn't worry that these people would come looking for trouble or refuse to pay. Just as Qin Feng predicted, the 1.5 billion was transferred to his account that night. Qin Feng was currently in need of money for the construction of Hero City. The 1.5 billion was given to him for free and Qin Feng threw it into the construction fund. The next day, Zhang Xing and Sun Pang kept their promise and personally brought their families' people and funds to help Qin Feng construct Hero City. The people from the other families in Acropolis City, big and small, also came to help the Feng group. While the construction of Hero City was in full swing, Sky City's Suqin Pharmaceuticals public bidding had begun. In the banquet hall of the most luxurious five-star hotel in Sky City, Su Qiuyu was wearing a luxurious black dress, revealing her shoulders and smooth calves below her knees. The audience was filled with pharmaceutical companies from all over the world who had come to bid. Everyone's eyes were glued to Su Qiuyu. She was like a goddess, noble and elegant. Su Qiuyu held the microphone and explained the advantages of Suqin Pharmaceuticals and the future development direction in an orderly manner. In fact, she didn't need to say much because Suqin Pharmaceuticals was now famous all over the country. The people present were all large pharmaceutical companies from various regions. They were all scrambling to cooperate with Suqin Pharmaceuticals. Su Xiatian wore a white sweater with blue overalls on the outside. She exuded a youthful aura. She stood on the side of the stage, and from time to time, she led a group of beauties in cheongsams onto the stage to showcase Suqin Pharmaceuticals' flagship products. This time, the product agent recruitment meeting went very smoothly. The bidders in the audience were very interested in Suqin Pharmaceutical. Now, Su Qiuyu was not worried about finding a good partner, but about which pharmaceutical company to choose as the final agent partner. Halfway through the recruitment, it was time for the intermission. Su Qiuyu walked off the stage and went to the backstage to rest. "Sis, you've been standing for more than an hour. Are you tired? Let me massage your legs." Su Xiatian followed her sister to the lounge and began to massage Su Qiuyu's legs. Su Qiuyu dotingly patted her sister's head. "Xiatian, do you have any pharmaceutical company in mind? I'm going to recruit 3 agents as a pilot." Su Qiuyu chatted with her sister. Su Xiatian didn't know anything about business. She giggled and said, "Sis, it's up to you, but isn't it better to recruit more agents? Why are we only recruiting 3? I think there are more than 100 pharmaceutical companies here today, and they all want to be our agents. We can earn a lot just from the agent fees, right?" Ever since Su Xiatian started selling whitening cream and gold sore medicine, she became a little money grubber. She wanted to earn a lot of money so that she could keep Qin Feng as her sugar daddy. She wanted Qin Feng to stay with her and her sister instead of going anywhere else. Su Qiuyu rolled her eyes at her sister and said helplessly, "You only care about the agent fees. How much is that? You don't know the stakes. Although our Suqin Pharmaceuticals is popular, we're still a pharmaceutical company that just started. Many people are eyeing us covetously. We have to keep our eyes open when looking for agents. We can't recruit too many in the beginning. If we let those people with bad intentions sneak in and use our products to play dirty tricks, we'll be done for if they ruin our reputation." Su Qiuyu was a business genius. Su Xiatian didn't understand what she was talking about. Su Qiuyu couldn't help but smile bitterly when she saw her sister's puzzled expression. "Miss Qiuyu, you're here." While the 2 sisters were having fun, a tall, handsome man suddenly walked in. Su Qiuyu hurriedly pulled down her skirt, sat up straight, and regained her elegant and noble temperament. She looked at the man with dissatisfaction and said, "You must be young Master Liang Yu of the capital city's Liang family. May I know why you're looking for me?" Su Qiuyu wasn't as cold and arrogant as Lu Bingbing and Yan Wushuang. Su Qiuyu was polite and modest to others. She was always cultured and refined, giving people a sense of intimacy. However, there was always a distance between her and others. Liang Yu chuckled as he walked to Su Qiuyu. He couldn't help but glance at Su Qiuyu's beautiful legs. "Miss Qiuyu, I'm here to talk business with you." As Liang Yu spoke, he glanced at Su Xiatian. Su Xiatian didn't seem to like Liang Yu, so she pouted and glared at him. Su Qiuyu understood Liang Yu's meaning. She said to her sister, "Xiatian, go see Grandpa." Su Xiatian nodded at her sister, glared at Liang Yu, and then ran away. Liang Yu couldn't help but glance at Su Xiatian's sunny figure. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart. If he could marry these beautiful twin sisters, even death would be worth it. "Young Master Liang, can you tell me now?" Su Qiuyu said indifferently. Liang Yu chuckled as he sat across from Su Qiuyu. His gaze was dishonest as he glanced at Su Qiuyu. Miss Qiuyu, you should know what the capital's Liang family does, right? The capital's Liang family's Liang Medical Group is the largest medical group in Huaxia. You're very famous, so of course I know. Haha, it's good that Miss Qiuyu knows this. I came to you alone this time because of the cooperation. Now that the 2 new products launched by Suqin Pharmaceutical are selling well, if they can be vigorously promoted by the Liang family, I believe that the sales and reputation will be even higher. What do you think, Miss Qiuyu? Liang Yu's meaning was clear. He was here to cooperate with Su Qiuyu. Not long ago, the Liang family's elder, Liang Qiyan, expressed his stance during the family meeting. Whoever could bring down Suqin Pharmaceuticals would be the new head of the Liang family. For a moment, everyone in the Liang family started to think of ways to deal with Suqin Pharmaceuticals. After Liang Yu repeatedly thought about it, he decided to get close to Su Qiuyu through cooperation. Then, he would take down this woman and Suqin Pharmaceuticals along the way. Liang Yu was very pleased with himself after coming up with this plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm sorry. Among the medical companies that came to the recruitment meeting today, everyone has a chance to become my Suqin Pharmaceuticals partner, but only your Liang Medical Group has no hope. Liang Yu was imagining Su Qiuyu agreeing to his proposal, but he was stunned by Su Qiuyu's cold voice. Miss Qiuyu, what do you mean? Why can't our Liang Medical Group do? Liang Yu looked at Su Qiuyu with a puzzled expression. You want to know the reason? Su Qiuyu smiled at Liang Yu. Because you don't deserve it. Su Qiuyu seemed to have changed from a gentle and refined person to a cold and heartless one. She already knew that Liang Yu and Qin Feng had a grudge against each other. She also knew that Qin Feng wanted to develop the medical industry to bring down the Liang family. Su Qiuyu had an easygoing personality. She could talk and get along with anyone, but there was one kind of person that Su Qiuyu would never treat nicely, Qin Feng's enemies. This was because Qin Feng's enemies were Su Qiuyu's enemies. Liang Yu was stunned for a long time before he came back to his senses. He could feel Su Qiuyu's hatred for him, which made him very depressed. Liang Yu believed that he had never offended Su Qiuyu before. They didn't even know each other before. Miss Qiuyu, is there a misunderstanding between us? Do you hate me? Liang Yu asked. Su Qiuyu didn't answer. Qin Feng told her to keep this a secret, so Su Qiuyu wouldn't tell Liang Yu. Liang Yu immediately panicked and continued, Miss Qiuyu, do you want to reconsider our cooperation? Are you worried that our Liang family is playing tricks? How about this? How about you and I get married? That way our medical companies can merge. At that time, we'll be an unshakable legend in China's medical industry. Liang Yu had a good plan. He wanted to win over the beauty Su Qiuyu, and he also wanted to swallow up the profitable medical company, Suqin Medical Company. Su Qiuyu chuckled a few times before her expression suddenly darkened. She looked coldly at Liang Yu and said, This is the funniest joke I've ever heard in my life. Don't even think about it. I don't like you at all. Su Qiuyu was too lazy to talk nonsense with Liang Yu. What she wanted to do was to expand Suqin Medical Company as soon as possible and completely crush Liang Yao Corporation. Liang Yu was still in the lounge in a daze, and Su Qiuyu had already left. Looking at the empty room, Liang Yu suddenly wrinkled his nose and fiercely inhaled a few breaths of air. An evil smile flashed across his face. Smells so good. You bitch, sooner or later. I'll make you unable to stop under me. After the break, Su Qiuyu returned to the stage. The listless medical company representatives in the seats below immediately became spirited again. They sat up straight and stared fixedly at Su Qiuyu's beautiful legs and soft breasts. During the second half of the recruitment meeting, Su Qiuyu introduced some of Suqin Group's other products and planned Suqin Medical Company's future development. Su Qiuyu even emphasized some hard standards for the recruitment of agents. After Su Qiuyu finished her speech, it was time to select the agents. Su Xiatian and Su Haonan had already walked up to the podium and sat in front of a row of tables with Su Qiuyu. The selection decision would be made by the 3 of them together. More than 100 medical company representatives had already lined up and came over one by one to be examined by Su Yu and the other two. Hello, Miss Su. I'm the representative of Yunhai City's largest Haitian medical company. Our Haitian group has been established for 5 years and has a solid foundation. Moreover, it's very close to your Suchin medical company. I believe that if we work together in depth, we'll definitely develop very well. Elder Su. I'm a large medical company from Chuanzhong. I'm very interested in your recently launched skin whitening cream and gold sore medicine. I hope to become your company's agent and form a win-win relationship. I'm the representative of the largest medical company in the Jiangnan area. This time, I've come all the way here to participate in your recruitment meeting. I hope to seek opportunities for cooperation. P.S. Brothers, give me some monthly votes. I'm about to fall off the monthly votes ranking. AA 2705221. Chapter 766. Every pharmaceutical sales representative was holding a thick document that contained detailed information about their respective pharmaceutical companies. Su Yu's review speed was very fast. She simply scanned through the information, chatted with the other party's representative, and decided on the spot whether or not to cooperate with them. Although there were more than 100 pharmaceutical group representatives from different regions attending Suchin Pharmaceuticals recruitment conference, the review speed was very fast. After a short while, Su Yu had already passed more than half of the representatives. Su Yu was still carefully looking through the remaining pharmaceutical representatives' information. Her work efficiency was amazing, and she was swift and decisive. It gave people the urge to conquer her just by looking at her. Miss Su, I'm the representative of Jingdu's Liang Yao Group. Your Suchin Pharmaceuticals has become famous recently, but it's still a lot worse than our Liang Yao Group. On behalf of Liang Yao Group, I'd like to give Suchin Pharmaceuticals a chance to cooperate. Take a look at this contract. If there's no problem, you can sign it directly. A middle-aged man in a suit stood in front of Su Yu and said. Su Yu and the other two raised their heads to look at the man in surprise. There were more than 100 pharmaceutical group representatives attending Suchin Pharmaceuticals recruitment conference today. Almost all of them politely asked Suchin Pharmaceuticals to give them a chance to cooperate. Su Yu had been reviewing for a long time, but this was the first time someone asked her in such a commanding tone. Su Yu glanced at the man and said faintly, I'm sorry, Suchin Pharmaceuticals doesn't cooperate with the Liang family in Jingdu. You can leave now. The middle-aged man in the suit was Liang Shuiping's younger brother, Liang Hui, who was also Liang Yu's second uncle. Liang Hui had come to Sky City to negotiate with Suchin Pharmaceuticals in order to fight for the position of the family head. Liang Yu's method was to cooperate first and then annex Suchin Pharmaceuticals. Liang Hui didn't have that much patience. His method was simple and direct. He would use the Liang family's strong position to directly threaten the Su family to submit to the Liang family. After being firmly rejected by Su Yu, Liang Hui's expression had already turned cold. Miss Su, our Liang family's Liang Yao Group is an old brand that has been established for decades. It has a strong and solid foundation. It's your good fortune for a small Suchin Pharmaceuticals to be valued by Liang Yao Group. I hope you can take a look at the contract and sign it obediently. Otherwise, if something unpleasant happens, it might threaten the safety of the three of you. Liang Hui relied on his power in the capital and didn't bother to hide anything. He began to threaten Su Yu. Su Haonan was very dissatisfied with Liang Hui's attitude. His expression darkened. Su Xiatian, the hot-tempered Su Xiatian, jumped up and retorted, How dare you threaten my sister and grandpa? Go away, you big jerk. Our Su family will never cooperate with you. Liang Hui's expression darkened as he glared at Su Xiatian and yelled, Little girl, watch what you say. Otherwise, I'll find someone to gang rape you. Su Xiatian was about to start a fight with Liang Hui, but Su Yu pulled her sister behind her. She glared at Liang Hui with her beautiful eyes and said, Security, chase this man out of our venue. Dogs are not allowed in our venue. After all, this was Sky City, and Sky City's Su family was the biggest. A dozen or so security guards rushed over immediately. They surrounded Liang Hui and glared at him fiercely. How dare you cause trouble in the Su family's recruitment meeting? Get out of here. As a member of one of the 5 small families in the capital, Liang Hui didn't expect to be chased away by a group of security guards in a small place like Sky City. Liang Hui gnashed his teeth in anger. Before he left, he glared at Su Qiuyu and yelled, "You better remember this. I'll make you regret it." "Humph, sister, that man is a jerk. Why did you stop him? I want to beat him up to vent my anger." Su Xiatian pouted angrily as Liang Hui was taken away. Su Qiuyu couldn't calm the fire in her heart. Liang Hui's words were too harsh. However, Su Qiuyu was more rational. She decided to accelerate the development of Suqin Pharmaceuticals and swallow up Liangyao Group to avenge her sister. "Sister, Grandpa, you must be tired. Go back and rest. I'll be here." Su Qiuyu was afraid something similar would happen again, so she asked her sister and Grandpa to go back first. Su Xiatian hugged Su Qiuyu's arm worriedly and said, "Sister, I'm not leaving. I want to stay here. If anyone dares to disrespect you, I'll teach him a lesson." Su Qiuyu patted her sister's head dotingly. She looked at Su Haonan and said, "Grandpa, take her back." Su Haonan sighed, "Okay, don't tire yourself out. If you can't finish today, you can leave it for tomorrow." Su Qiuyu nodded at her grandpa. Su Haonan persuaded Xiatian to go back with him. Su Xiatian reluctantly bid farewell to her sister. "Sister, I'll go back and take care of Grandpa. Don't be angry. When Big Brother Qin comes back, I'll ask him to teach the Liang family's jerk a lesson." Su Qiuyu watched her sister and Grandpa leave. Exhaustion flashed across her beautiful face. She quickly adjusted her mood and continued to speed up the review of the medical companies. Halfway through the review, a row of tables was set up across from Liang Shuiping. Liang Su, Liang Shuiping's third brother, and a few of his subordinates also started to recruit partners. "Friends from medical companies, please come and take a look. I'm Liang Su, the representative of the provincial capital's Liangyao Group. Since Liangyao Group is expanding, we're recruiting a large number of offline distributors. Hurry up if you're interested." Liang Su held a megaphone and shouted. The medical company's representatives who were waiting for Su Qiuyu's review all looked over. Liangyao Group was the most powerful medical company in Huaxia. If they could cooperate with them, their future would be limitless. "Director Liang, I'm the representative of Jincheng City's Guanghui Medical Group. I didn't pass the review at Suqin Group. Can I form a partnership with your company?" "I'm from the provincial capital's Wanfeng Medical Group. Liangyao Group is famous in the provincial capital and the whole of Huaxia. We're developing in the provincial capital, so I hope Director Liang can give us a chance." The group of representatives who didn't reach a partnership with Su Qiuyu immediately gathered around Liang Su. Liang Su deliberately set up a table across from Su Qiuyu to get a partnership. His way of dealing with Suqin Pharmaceuticals was to forcefully suppress Suqin Group. Everyone in the Liang family thought of various ways to fight for the position of the family head. They also used different means to deal with Suqin Pharmaceuticals. Seeing more and more medical company representatives running to Liang Su's side to talk about a partnership, Su Qiuyu suddenly felt powerless. The following review became more and more difficult because all the medical companies with a little bit of strength were tricked by Liang Su, leaving only some new companies that had just started. Su Qiuyu's Suqin Pharmaceuticals had just started. She held this recruitment meeting to find a large company with a solid foundation. Now it seemed that the recruitment meeting didn't meet Su Qiuyu's expectations. After a busy day, Su Qiuyu couldn't even find an ideal partner. Most of the people in the venue had already left, leaving only Liang Su and a few representatives who were signing contracts with Liangyao Group. Liang Su handed over the contract to his subordinates and walked over to Su Qiuyu with a smile. "Yo, Miss Su, why haven't you signed a single partner today? I've already signed 12 big companies. Although your Suqin Pharmaceuticals has developed 2 popular products, it's still a new company. It won't be easy for you to gain a foothold in the medical industry." Liang Su looked at Su Qiuyu proudly. It was obvious that he was here to show off. So what if I haven't signed a partner? The product is the king. At worst, I'll open my own branch company and expand the industrial chain. Su Qiu felt powerless, but she didn't want to show her weakness to her enemies. Su Qiu would only open up her fragile heart in front of her family and lover. She suddenly missed Qin Feng and wanted to lie in his arms and rest quietly for a while. Humph. Let's see how you're going to develop with my Liang Yao group in front of you. Liang Su snorted disdainfully. With a wretched expression, he dug a hole in Su Qiu's chest and swaggered away. Su Qiu realized that she wouldn't be able to sign a satisfactory partner today, so she packed her things and prepared to leave. After leaving the hotel, Su Qiu walked back to the Su family's old residence in exhaustion. Liang Yu was sneakily following behind her. Hee, Miss Qiu, we meet again. When Su Qiu walked to a desolate area, a burst of evil laughter suddenly came from behind her. It's you? You're following me? Su Qiu immediately turned around and discovered that Liang Yu was following her. Haha, Miss Qiu, I'm not following you. I'm here to continue discussing our partnership. Have you considered the matter I mentioned to you this morning? I advise you to obediently marry me. I am the eldest grandson of the direct line of descent of the Liang family in the capital. Once we are married, I will naturally become the new head of the family. You won't lose out if you follow me, will you? Liang Yu sized up Su Qiu's body with a smile and approached her step by step. Don't come any closer, or I'll call the police. Su Qiu immediately became nervous and took out her phone. Liang Yu's figure suddenly flashed and instantly appeared beside Su Qiu. Su Qiu had eaten Qin Feng's blood qi pill and was now a stage 4 inner qi martial artist. She quickly struck out with her palm, but Liang Yu dodged it with a flip. Heh, I didn't expect a woman like you to be a stage 4 inner qi martial artist. Not bad. I like to conquer women like you. Liang Yu was also a stage 4 inner qi martial artist, but his combat experience was obviously more abundant than Su Qiu's. Liang Yu became serious after his first strike missed. His figure flashed, and his speed was obviously doubled. His second palm strike was already aimed at Su Qiu's chest. Rumble. Su Qiu's expression changed drastically. She felt her speed slow down, and it was obvious that she couldn't dodge Liang Yu's palm strike. Bang! Before Liang Yu's palm could land, a loud noise suddenly came from his back. Liang Yu's body flew out like a kite with a broken string. Su Qiu was shocked. She didn't even have time to look at Liang Yu's miserable appearance. Her beautiful eyes stared fixedly at the man standing in front of her. The man was dressed in black and had a black mask on his face. He was like a ghost, and no one knew when he had appeared. The man easily sent Liang Yu flying. It was obvious that he was much stronger than Liang Yu. Su Qiu was extremely anxious. She was clearly no match for the man in black. Who are you? Su Qiu asked. Haha, that's a good question. My name is Shadow. Those who know my name are all dead. As soon as Shadow finished speaking, his figure flashed and instantly disappeared. Su Qiu didn't even have time to react. She felt her eyelids grow heavy, and she was directly knocked out. AA 2705221. Chapter 767. After Su Xiatian and Su Haonan returned to the Su family mansion, they waited for Su Qiu to have dinner with them. However, Su Qiu still hadn't returned after 8 p.m. Grandpa, why isn't Big Sister back yet? Could something have happened to her? Su Xiatian looked worried. Su Haonan's wizened face became extremely dignified. He frowned and said, Call Qiu and ask her if something happened to her. Su Xiatian hastily dialed her big sister's number, but no one picked up. Su Xiatian and Su Haonan were getting more and more nervous. They had a bad feeling about this. At this moment, footsteps came from outside the door. Su Xiatian hurriedly ran to the door, shouting as she ran, Big sister, are you back? Little sister Xiatian, did you miss me? It was a man's voice. Su Xiatian froze at the door for a second when she saw the man. Then, she threw herself into the man's arms like a madman. Sob sob. Big brother Qin Feng, you finally came to see us. Bad guys bullied me and big sister today. Sob sob, big sister hasn't come back yet. Did big sister get kidnapped by bad guys? Su Xiatian never expected big brother Qin Feng to come back so suddenly. Su Xiatian lay in Qin Feng's arms and cried. Qin Feng's heart ached when he saw this. The construction of Hero City was going smoothly, so Qin Feng came to Sky City's Su family. He wanted to give the Su sisters and elder Su a big surprise, but he didn't expect to hear that you might have been kidnapped by bad guys. Qin Feng? It's really you. You came at the right time. Su Haonan heard Xiatian's crying and rushed out. The elder was pleasantly surprised when he saw Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at Su Xiatian, who was crying like a kitten, and patted her head dotingly. Xiatian, don't cry. What happened to Qiu? Who bullied you today? Su Xiatian had called her big sister 3 times in a row, but no one picked up. She was extremely nervous, but now that she was in Qin Feng's arms, Su Xiatian's anxious heart quickly calmed down. She felt that as long as big brother Qin Feng was here, everything could be solved, and all the bad guys would be hung and beaten by Qin Feng. Qin Feng, come in and sit. You might not be in trouble. She just hasn't come back yet, and no one picked up the phone. Let's wait and see. Su Haonan pulled Qin Feng and Xiatian into the house. The 3 of them sat on the sofa in the living room. Su Xiatian sat next to Qin Feng and held Qin Feng's arm tightly. Qin Feng asked Su Xiatian to tell him what happened today. After learning that the Liang family made things difficult for Su Qiu during the recruitment meeting, Qin Feng's eyes turned red. Seeing that the sky outside had darkened completely, Qin Feng couldn't wait any longer. He stood up and wanted to ask Liang Yu about it. Tian Xiatian, wait for me at home. Xiatian Xia Hao Tian Shi Hao Nan. Big brother Qin Feng, take me with you. Qin Feng hurried to the door. Qin Feng returned to his original appearance after arriving at the Su family mansion. He was going to find trouble with the Liang family, so he was going to change back to Qiao Feng's appearance. Qin Feng didn't want Su Xiatian to know his identity as Qiao Feng because he didn't want to bring unnecessary trouble to the Su sisters. Seeing Su Xiatian's pitiful appearance, Qin Feng patted her head and said with a smile, Xiatian, be a good girl and stay at home. I'll bring big sister back to reunite with you guys soon. It's not safe for elder Su to stay at home alone. Take care of grandpa. Su Xiatian pouted unhappily, but she nodded in the end. Big brother Qin Feng, be careful. Qin Feng turned around and left the Su family. He called Liang Yu as soon as he walked out the door. See hero Qing Lang? Why are you looking for me? Liang Yu's voice trembled when he saw it was Qing Lang calling. Liang Yu was most afraid of receiving a call from Qing Lang. Qing Lang had been messing with him recently. Where are you? Qin Feng's voice was icy cold. Liang Yu was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. He didn't dare to hide anything from Qing Lang. Hero Qing Lang, I am in Sky City. I'm here to help the family with some matters. Where's Sky City? Qin Feng didn't waste any words. Liang Yu was slightly stunned. He didn't know why Qing Lang was asking so clearly, but he didn't dare to hide anything. I'm at the 7 Days Hotel. Hero Qing Lang, why are you looking for me? I'll meet you at the entrance of the 7 Days Hotel in 10 minutes. Qin Feng hung up, hailed a taxi, and rushed to the 7 Days Hotel. The Su family wasn't far from the 7 Days Hotel. Qin Feng was already standing at the entrance of the 7 Days Hotel in 10 minutes. Qin Feng originally wanted to reunite with the Su sisters and the elder when he arrived in Sky City. He wanted to have a happy dinner with everyone. However, he heard the news of the Liang family bullying the sisters. Qin Feng's anger had already reached the top of his head. Liang Yu was already waiting at the entrance of the 7 Days Hotel. He stood on the street and looked left and right, obviously looking for Qing Lang. Liang Yu, you must be tired of living. An icy voice suddenly rang in Liang Yu's ears. Liang Yu jumped in fright. He looked at Xiao Feng, who was standing beside him. When did this person arrive? Why your dragon sex, Xiao Feng? Liang Yu was astonished. He couldn't understand why Xiao Feng was also in Sky City. Bang! Liang Yu's reply was a heavy punch. Qin Feng's attack was as fast as lightning. Liang Yu didn't even have a chance to react. His nose broke with a crack, and his entire body flew more than 10 meters away. Dong! Liang Yu had just landed when Qin Feng's figure appeared like a shadow. He stepped on Liang Yu's thigh. With a crack, Liang Yu's leg was forcefully broken by Qin Feng. The sound of bones breaking sent chills down one's spine. Ah! Murder! Murder! Help! There's a fight. Someone, come quickly. That man looks ordinary, but his attacks are so cruel. Hurry and call the police. Otherwise, that unlucky brat will really be trampled to death. In a rage, Qin Feng began to violently beat Liang Yu. He beat him from the sky to the ground, and from the ground to the ground. A large crowd had already gathered around to watch the show. Everyone was scared silly when they saw Qin Feng's ruthless methods. Fortunately, Liang Yu was a stage 4 inner chi martial artist. His body was much stronger than ordinary people. Under Qin Feng's series of brutal moves, Liang Yu was at his last gasp. But at least he didn't die. What are you doing? Why did you hit me? Liang Yu was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He thought he had nothing to do with Qiao Feng, so why did Qiao Feng suddenly come to Sky City and violently beat him up? Qin Feng's large foot landed on the ground and directly broke Liang Yu's arm. He yelled furiously, "Why did I hit you? You dared to cause trouble for the Su family. You're simply looking for death." Liang Yu's heart suddenly thumped. He finally understood. After all this time, Qiao Feng had taken a fancy to the two beauties of the Su family. No wonder Qiao Feng was so angry. Liang Yu was about to die from anger, but he had no strength in his body. Qin Feng had broken his arms and legs, so he could only lie miserably in the deep pit and let Qin Feng do whatever he wanted. "Stinking brat, what are you doing? Stop right now." A dignified voice came from behind Qin Feng. It turned out that Liang Hui and Liang Su rushed out after hearing the commotion outside the hotel. Although the two of them were competing with Liang Yu for the position of family head and disliked each other, Liang Yu was about to be beaten to death. As Liang Yu's second and third uncles, Liang Hui and Liang Su couldn't just sit back and watch. Otherwise, if the matter reached old master Liang Qiyin's ears, both of them would be finished. Crack! Qin Feng completely ignored Liang Hui and Liang Su's threats and stomped down again. Liang Yu's vision turned black from the pain, and he fainted before he could even scream. This time, Liang Yu definitely wouldn't be able to carry on the family line. "Who are you?" Qin Feng glared at the two of them with an icy expression. Liang Hui and Liang Su felt a bit guilty. They didn't even dare to look directly at Qin Feng's eyes. "We're all from the capital city's Liang family. You dared to offend the Liang family, brat? Just wait to collect your corpse." Liang Hui quickly came back to his senses. Once he remembered he had the Liang family as his backer, he immediately became arrogant. "Heh, I'm beating up the Liang family." Knowing that the two people behind him were also from the Liang family, Qin Feng sneered and pounced forward. "You're courting death. Attack." Seeing Qin Feng pouncing over, Liang Su roared angrily. The 5 Liang family guards standing behind him immediately pounced. Bang, bang, bang. A series of intense explosions came from mid-air. Both sides were extremely fast, and the onlookers were a bit dazzled. Before anyone could react, the 5 stage 4 inner chi guards of the Liang family were all sent flying. They fell to the ground motionlessly, and no one knew if they were dead or alive. Whoosh! The crowd cried out in alarm. Qin Feng was too terrifying when he was enraged. He was like a demon that walked out of hell. Huaxia people liked to watch a good show, but most of the onlookers had already been scared away. The scene was too bloody and violent. Who are you? I'm warning you, we're from the capital city's 5 small families, the Liang family. Hurry up and apologize to us, and we might spare you. Liang Hui and Liang Su were also dumbfounded. Those were 5 stage 4 inner chi experts. How could they be so easily sent flying by Lin Fan? Humph, Liang family. Go to hell. Before Liang Su could finish his vicious words, there was another sound of wind breaking in the air. Qin Feng appeared beside the two of them at some point in time. A series of flying punches sent the two of them flying into the air. Qin Feng leaped into the air and kicked Liang Hui and Liang Su to the ground with his two legs. Thump thump. Liang Su and Liang Hui smashed a deep pit in the ground. Both of them were stage 4 inner chi experts, and they directly fainted from the fall. Thud. Qin Feng landed on the ground and stood ramrod straight. No one dared to look directly at Qin Feng's eyes. Wherever Qin Feng's eyes swept across, the crowd immediately lowered their heads like children who had done something wrong. Don't move. Put your hands on your head and squat on the ground. Qin Feng had just finished beating up the Liang family members when a few policemen rushed over. Seeing the bloody and cruel scene before them, the policemen were so scared that they broke out in a cold sweat. They all pulled out their guns and pointed at Qin Feng. I'm talking to you. Put your hands on your head and squat on the ground. The 4 policemen formed a circle and slowly approached Qin Feng. They didn't know how many times they shouted, but Qin Feng still stood with his hands behind his back and didn't react at all. Call your chief here to see me. Qin Feng suddenly spoke with a voice as cold as frost. The 4 policemen were stunned. This brat was too arrogant. I'm Chief Zhao of Sky City's Public Security Bureau. Who are you? The situation here was too big. Not long after, Chief Zhao of the Public Security Bureau personally came over. Seeing Chief Zhao, the 4 policemen who surrounded Chen Lin finally heaved a sigh of relief. The closer they got to Qin Feng, the more they felt an invisible pressure. It was too frightening. Qin Feng swaggered over. A row of policemen aimed their guns at Qin Feng. If Qin Feng made any small movements, they would shoot without hesitation. Arrest those guys. They're all bad guys. Punish them severely. Qin Feng walked to Chief Zhao's side and tossed him a blueprint. Chief Zhao looked at the golden dragon gate, engraved on the steel ring in his hand, and was so scared that he almost fell. Team Leader Chao, don't worry. I'll arrest those bad guys and interrogate them. I'll definitely punish them severely. Chief Zhao's sudden change in attitude and respectful attitude toward Qin Feng stunned the policemen who followed him. The surrounding crowd was also a little confused. Put your guns away. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and arrest these criminals and take them away. Chief Zhao broke out in a cold sweat. He had been a chief for so long, but this was the first time he saw people from Dragon Gate. In the eyes of these ordinary policemen, China's Dragon Gate was an incomparably sacred and mysterious organization, and the members of Dragon Gate were all godlike men. AA 2705221. Chapter 768. Although Chief Zhao was the chief of Sky City's Public Security Bureau, he had no temper in front of the Dragon Sect. The Dragon Sect had too many privileges in China. The members of the Dragon Sect only listened to the orders of a specific premier. Other organizations had no right to order the Dragon Sect. When they saw the members of the Dragon Sect, they could only be ordered around. Chief Zhao's underlings quickly came back to their senses. They quickly put away their guns and began to drag the unconscious Liang family members into the police car. After Chief Zhao finished his work, he chuckled and ran over to ask Qin Feng for instructions. After receiving Qin Feng's approval, he dared to return with his team. Once Chief Zhao left, the surrounding crowd immediately dispersed. Until now, everyone had not completely recovered from their shock. They were all wondering who that ruthless man was. Even the chief of the Public Security Bureau listens to his orders. After violently beating up the Liang family members, Qin Feng did not completely vent the fire in his heart. This was because Qin Feng asked something when he was beating Liang Yu. Su Qiu Yu was really kidnapped, but it was not the Liang family's doing. Even Liang Yu did not know who the black-clothed man was. Qin Feng was burning with anxiety. According to Liang Yu, Su Qiu Yu had been kidnapped for half an hour. Master, you can use the Divination Spirit Stone to divine Su Qiu Yu's whereabouts. Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded. Qin Feng slapped his forehead. He had almost forgotten about the sky-occupying Spirit Stone. The Divination Spirit Stone could divine once a month. Last time, Qin Feng used the Divination Spirit Stone to divine Su Qiu Yu's location. This month, Qin Feng had not used the Divination Spirit Stone. Divination Spirit Stone. Help me divine Su Qiu Yu's location. Qin Feng hurriedly took out the Divination Spirit Stone. With a slight thought, the Divination Spirit Stone shone brightly. Images appeared on the smooth stone surface. It was Su Qiu Yu's figure. Su Qiu Yu was locked in a small dark room. Qin Feng could see the situation outside the small dark room. It was a large courtyard house, and the courtyard was heavily guarded. The people coming and going were all dressed in black and wore black masks. When he saw the uniform logo on their chests, Qin Feng immediately recognized them. They were members of the Golden Assassin crew. Golden Assassin crew? How dare you capture my woman? Prepare to die for this lord. The light on the sky spellstone had disappeared, and the image had stopped. However, Qin Feng had already obtained the information he wanted. He had stayed in the capital for a long time, so he had immediately recognized the location of the Golden Assassin crew's base. Master, I feel Black Tortoise's aura. It's nearby. Master can take Black Tortoise to eradicate the Golden Assassin crew. Little Pig suddenly jumped up in excitement. Where's the black turtle? Qin Feng was also very excited. He hadn't seen the black turtle in a long time. According to my senses, it should be 10 kilometers southwest, Little Pig said. Qin Feng was relatively familiar with the geography of Sky City. The direction that Little Pig said was the main river that flowed through Sky City. It seemed that Black Tortoise really was there. Qin Feng sprinted all the way and quickly arrived at the edge of Song River. That familiar feeling became stronger and stronger, and Qin Feng could already feel the Black Tortoise's existence. Roar! Suddenly, the tranquil river water began to churn and create raging waves. A low roar that seemed to come from ancient times came from the bottom of the river. A huge wave soared into the sky and formed a large whirlpool. From the whirlpool, a huge sea creature slowly rose, giving Qin Feng a big fright. Black Tortoise? Oh my God! Why do you eat such a big meal every day? How did it grow so fast? Qin Feng didn't know what to say when he saw the black tortoise emerging from the water. Qin Feng still remembered when he used the sea turtle and the many-banded kite to form the black tortoise. At that time, the black tortoise was only the size of a palm. After a few days, the black tortoise grew to the size of a wash basin. Later, Qin Feng threw the black tortoise into Song River in the mountain resort, and the black tortoise suddenly grew to the size of a small yacht. Qin Feng hadn't seen the black tortoise for more than 5 months. In the end, this guy had grown to the size of a large boat. If it wasn't for the familiar feeling, Qin Feng would have been scared away by this giant in the water. Roar, roar, roar. After the black tortoise emerged from the water, it roared excitedly at Qin Feng. The sea turtle slapped the surface of the river, creating waves that were tens of meters high to express its excitement. The many-banded kite opened its bloody mouth and stuck out its dark red tongue at Qin Feng. Qin Feng's face darkened when he saw this. Black Tortoise, how have you been recently? Qin Feng communicated with the black tortoise telepathically. Roar, roar, roar. The black tortoise's roar was like thunder. Qin Feng couldn't understand it, so he waited for Little Pig to translate. Master, we've had a lot of fun during this time. Now we're the overlord of Song River. We've tasted all kinds of fish, prawns, and water monsters in Song River. After a while, we're preparing to go to the deep sea to find new delicacies. After listening to Little Pig's translation, the corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched violently. Qin Feng started to feel guilty for the small fish and prawns that entered the black tortoise's stomach because he was the one who threw the black tortoise into Song River. Qin Feng was very happy to see the black tortoise. The black tortoise was even happier than Qin Feng. With Little Pig's translation, the two of them chatted for a while. Luckily, it was nighttime and there was no one around. Otherwise, if someone saw this scene, they would definitely be scared to death. Black Tortoise, I'm going to fight an enemy now. Are you coming? Qin Feng already brought the topic back to business because time was tight. Roar, roar, roar. The black tortoise suddenly roared in excitement. The many-banded kite spat out 2 mouthfuls of black bubbles at the bottom of the river. A meter-long fish was poisoned to death and evaporated along with the river water in an instant. Master, The black tortoise said to hurry up and go. Jump on their backs and they'll take you swimming to the capital, said Little Pig. Qin Feng was a bit nervous when he saw the many-banded krite's venom bubbles. If he jumped on and the many-banded krite spat at him in excitement, wouldn't he be instantly corroded into a stench? A white light streaked across the sky and Qin Feng landed on the black tortoise's back. What made Qin Feng rejoice was that although the many-banded krite stuck out its tongue excitedly, it didn't spit randomly. Black tortoise, speed up. Qin Feng patted the black tortoise's shell. The black tortoise raised its head to the sky and roared. Then, Qin Feng felt a violent tremor and a fierce wind blew past his ears. The black tortoise sped forward and the wind was so strong that Qin Feng almost couldn't open his eyes. The black tortoise's shell was extremely large. It was like a large ship. Qin Feng stood on the black tortoise's shell in the middle of the surging river. He suddenly felt very small. Little Pig finally found a playmate. He ran out of the system and was now running around on the black tortoise's shell. He was originally a pig, but now he was as happy as a mad dog. The wind howled and the waves behind him were several meters high. The black tortoise's speed on the sea was so fast that it made people speechless. Qin Feng couldn't run at this speed on land. Half an hour later, the black tortoise arrived at the capital and found a shore to stop. Little Pig, this black tortoise is too big. Can the system fit it? Qin Feng jumped onto the shore and looked at the black tortoise, which was as large and mighty as a large ship. He immediately felt a bit worried. Little Pig lay on Qin Feng's shoulder and used its claws to tickle Qin Feng. Master, please don't insult the system's storage space. Okay? How old is the black tortoise? I'll be honest with Master, the black tortoise is still in its infancy stage. When it reaches adulthood, it'll be like an aircraft carrier. Qin Feng's feet slipped and he almost fell. Little Pig continued. Master can also put the black tortoise in the emerald spirit ring. The spirit ring has enough space. Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly. The giant black tortoise, who was fishing and eating on the shore, suddenly turned into a white light and disappeared. It had already entered the emerald spirit ring. Qin Feng looked at his surroundings. This was the outskirts of the capital. If he walked a few kilometers, he would reach Ghost Mountain. It was already late at night. There wasn't even a ghost in this area. Qin Feng leaped into the air and a neigh sounded in the air. Hiss! In the darkness, Flaming Dragon Horse descended from the sky. Its fiery red fur was like flames, burning fiercely in the cold wind. Qin Feng landed handsomely on Flaming Dragon Horse's back. His large hand slapped Flaming Dragon Horse's butt. Flaming Dragon Horse immediately turned into a bolt of lightning and disappeared into the night. In a courtyard house behind the central district of the capital. No one would have guessed that this area, where every inch of land was worth its weight in gold, was the secret base of China's largest assassin organization, the Golden Assassin Crew. In a small, dark room in the courtyard house, Su Qiuyu's hands and feet were tied up. She had been trying to untie the ropes since she was locked up. However, after trying for a long time, she couldn't make any progress. Creak. The door was suddenly pushed open, and a ray of cold moonlight shone in. The moonlight shone on Su Qiuyu's pretty face, making her look even more holy and noble. Who are you? Let me go. The person who came in was the shadow, who had brought Su Qiuyu back. Haha. Beauty Qiuyu, since you're here, why are you in such a hurry to leave? TSK. I didn't expect there to be such a perfect woman like you in this world. Even a top-notch assassin like me is tempted by you. This is very fatal. The shadow had already taken off the black mask on his face. It was a wretched face with a protruding mouth and monkey-like cheeks. His triangular eyes glowed with green light as he sized up Su Qiuyu's body. The shadow walked towards Su Qiuyu step by step. Su Qiuyu was so frightened that she desperately twisted her body and retreated all the way to the corner of the wall. Su Qiuyu screamed, Don't come near me. Go away. The shadow didn't seem to hear Su Qiuyu's screams. He came to Su Qiuyu's side with a smile on his face. Hee. Beauty Qiuyu, you probably don't know this, but I've been secretly observing you for almost a month. I've been watching your every move in the office. In this 1 month, I've been resisting the urge to rush into your office and push you down. Now that I've finally caught you, of course I'll have to serve you well. Su Qiu-yu's expression changed drastically. She didn't expect this disgusting man to peep at her for a month. Su Qiu-yu was so disgusted that she wanted to vomit. At this critical juncture, Qin Feng's figure involuntarily appeared in Su Qiu-yu's mind. How good would it be if Qin Feng was here? Don't touch me. Ah! Scram! Scram! The shadow had already reached out to touch her. Su Qiu-yu was so frightened that she struggled with all her might. However, her hands and feet were tightly bound, so she couldn't break free. The shadow became even more excited when he saw Su Qiu-yu struggling with all her might. Just as his skinny, black hands were about to touch Su Qiu-yu's chest, a howl of the wind suddenly reverberated in the air. Xiu! The howl of the wind was very soft. If one didn't listen carefully, it could easily be ignored. The shadow's expression changed drastically. He wanted to retract his hands, but his hands were empty. Subconsciously, the shadow looked at his hands. His hands had been cut off at the base, and his palms had fallen to the ground. The blood hadn't seeped out, and he didn't feel any pain. The shadow's eyeballs almost fell out of their sockets. His eyes were filled with astonishment. He even suspected that he was dreaming. Otherwise, how could his hands have fallen off? The faint sound of blood spurting resounded in the air. First, it was a little bit of blood. In the blink of an eye, the shadow's severed arms were bleeding profusely. Following that, a piercing pain surged into his heart. The pain was so excruciating that even a top-notch assassin like the shadow couldn't bear it and let out a blood-curdling scream. Ah! Su Qiu-yu was frightened by the scene in front of her. She also screamed. Halfway through her scream, Su Qiu-yu suddenly froze. She felt she was tightly embraced by a warm embrace. The man's chest was broad, and his arms were strong and powerful. Most importantly, the scent on his body was so familiar. AA2705221. Chapter 769. Qin Feng? Is that really you? Qin Feng had already returned to his original appearance. Su Qiu-yu looked at the man who saved her, and a huge wave of love surged in her heart. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Before Qin Feng could speak, 3 darts were shot at him from behind. The shadow was indeed the number 1 of the Golden Assassin Crew's Silver Group. His hands were cut off by Qin Feng, but he managed to calm down in such a short time and even counterattack. Bastard! How dare you break into the Golden Assassin Crew's base at night? Who are you? The shadow could still speak while spitting darts out of his mouth. Qin Feng carried Su Qiu-yu and deftly dodged the shadow's attack. Don't you recognize me? 5 months ago, your Golden Assassin Crew was hunting me down in Acropolis City. Qin Feng sneered. The shadow's eyes sparkled as he suddenly remembered. A hedonistic young master in Acropolis City offended the Golden Assassin Crew, so the organization sent 2 assassins from the Bronze Group to assassinate Qin Feng. The Golden Assassin Crew then sent number 1 and number 26 of the Silver Group to assassinate Qin Feng, but they were also killed by Qin Feng. Just when the Golden Assassin Crew started to pay attention to Qin Feng, there was suddenly news that Qin Feng was killed in Devil Beast Mountain by an outsider, so the Golden Assassin Crew gave up on this target. You're not dead? Haha! I heard you have many spiritual weapons and skills. You came at the right time. Since you're here, don't even think about leaving. After the shadow knew Qin Feng's identity, he wasn't afraid at all. He laughed presumptuously and obviously didn't care about Qin Feng. The shadow had secretly triggered the organization's alarm system. Qin Feng also saw his little action, but Qin Feng pretended that he didn't know anything. This time, he came to the Golden Assassin Crew to start a massacre. Qin Feng couldn't wait for the shadow to call the entire organization over. Don't worry, I won't leave before I annihilate your Golden Assassin Crew, Qin Feng said nonchalantly. The shadow was stunned. Then he laughed hysterically. Haha! This is the funniest joke I've ever heard in my life. You alone? You want to destroy the Golden Assassin Crew? Haha! The shadow rocked back and forth as he laughed like a lunatic. Su Qiu-yu raised her beautiful brows. She didn't know Qin Feng's current strength, so she was worried about him. Qin Feng, the Golden Assassin Crew, is the #1 assassin organization in China. They kill as many people as there are clouds in the sky, and they have many experts. Let's leave quickly. As soon as Su Qiu's voice faded, the shadow suddenly shouted, "You want to leave? It's too late." Indeed, it's too late. I mean, it's already too late for you to escape. Qin Feng's icy voice rang out, and at the same time, an ear-piercing whistle of the wind rang out. Qin Feng shielded Su Qiu behind him and struck out with both hands. Dozens of white lights appeared out of thin air and formed a wall of wind blades in front of Qin Feng. Shadow's expression changed drastically in an instant. His wretched triangular eyes were filled with disbelief. Shadow didn't even have the chance to shout out his last words before his body was slashed by a row of wind blades. Following that, his broken body scattered on the ground, landing in a pool of blood. Su Qiu shrieked in fear. She was standing behind Qin Feng, so she couldn't see Qin Feng's frosty expression. Qin Feng's firm voice reached her ears. "Qiu, stay here. I'll avenge you." Whoosh! Qin Feng's silhouette was already standing at the entrance of the little dark house. Through the crack of the door, Su Qiu could see a large group of assassins dressed in black swarming in. In the dark night, these assassins seemed to blend in with the darkness. They moved so fast that it was difficult to track them. "Little pig, give me a pair of night vision goggles." Buzz! The air rippled, and a pair of dazzling night vision goggles appeared in Qin Feng's eyes. In an instant, Qin Feng's vision was as clear as day. "Who are you? How dare you break into the Golden Assassin Crew's base at night? You must be tired of living. Quickly kneel and beg for mercy, or else I'll tear you into pieces." The empty courtyard was filled with black shadows. These black shadows floated in the air. Even the voices of the few people who spoke earlier were drifting back and forth. This was the habit of top-notch assassins. They wouldn't stay in the same place for more than a second. Whoosh! Qin Feng didn't say anything. Instead, he responded with a wave of white wind blades. In an instant, white light flashed in the dark night. Hundreds of wind blades were shot out by Qin Feng. They looked like hundreds of fireflies wandering in the empty courtyard. Slash! The sound of skin being cut rang in the air, and the smell of blood permeated the air. Clang! 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 The members of the Golden Assassin Crew were all top-notch assassins in China. They quickly regained their senses. The sound of metal clashing filled the air. Most of the wind blades Qin Feng shot out were blocked by the assassins. "How dare you cause trouble in the Golden Assassin Crew's territory? Die, everyone. Let's kill this arrogant bastard. We, the Golden Assassin Crew, have always accepted gold targets. This is the first time someone has come to our base to kill people. This is fun. This is really fun." There were hundreds of assassins in the courtyard, and their strengths varied greatly. The Golden Assassin Crew was divided into 4 groups according to their strengths: the Golden Group, the Silver Group, the Bronze Group, and the Winter Iron Group. The Winter Iron Group's assassins were all stage 4 inner chi and below. There were more than 50 of them, and most of them had been killed by Qin Feng's wind blades. The Bronze Group was comprised of stage 4 and stage 5 inner chi assassins. The Silver Group was comprised of stage 6 and stage 7 inner chi assassins. The shadow that Qin Feng had just sliced apart was the Silver Group's #1. His strength was stage 8 inner chi. Qin Feng had sliced the #1 of the Silver Group into pieces. Qin Feng really didn't care about the group of stage 7 inner chi assassins. Whoosh! 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 The wind howled incessantly in the night sky. More than 40 assassins leaped into the air and appeared above Qin Feng's head. It was like a rain of assassins. A normal person would be scared half to death just by looking at this formation. "Master, you can use the angel's sword. There will be an unexpected surprise." Little Pig's voice rang out as Qin Feng leaped into the air above the courtyard. In an instant, a snow-white longsword that emitted a holy aura appeared in Qin Feng's hand. The angel's sword was like the only ray of light in the darkness, illuminating Qin Feng's surroundings. Qin Feng hovered in the air, and a layer of holy radiance covered his body. He looked like a deity that had descended to the mortal world. Buzz! Qin Feng waved his hand lightly. The angelic sword didn't explode with a powerful aura like Qin Feng had imagined. Wherever the sword passed, a white light appeared, and a strange energy rippled out. The Golden Assassin Crew's assassins seemed to have been immobilized. Their bodies froze in mid-air, and they didn't react at all. Qin Feng's sword fell and cut them in half. Buzz! Buzz! The angel's sword rose and fell. Within a few breaths, Qin Feng had taken down more than 10 assassins. The assassins who had pounced on Qin Feng were stunned. Their eyes revealed traces of fear. They hastily retreated dozens of meters away, maintaining a safe distance from Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at the glowing angel's sword in his hand. He was puzzled. Master, the angel's sword is a sword of justice. It specializes in killing evil in this world. These Golden Assassin Crew assassins have killed many people. Their hands are stained with evil blood, and their bodies are filled with murderous intent. That's why the angel's sword can easily kill these assassins. Without Qin Feng asking, Little Pig automatically explained. Qin Feng was overjoyed. This sword was really powerful. If Qin Feng had obtained the angel's sword earlier, he would have hacked the Ghost-Face Mountain Man to death when he encountered him in Hepping Town. Golden Assassin Crew, today is the day of your destruction. With the angel's sword in hand, Qin Feng's body erupted with the halo of justice metal. At this moment, Qin Feng looked even more holy. His body was shrouded in a dazzling light. He leaped to the assassin's side. These assassins couldn't fight back against the angel's sword. Qin Feng killed them with one slash. Su Qiuyu hid in the small dark room and watched the situation outside. She had long been deeply attracted by Qin Feng's handsome and mighty appearance. Before Su Qiuyu met Qin Feng, she was a very rational and noble woman. She didn't fancy any man and wasn't interested in the affairs between men and women. However, after meeting Qin Feng, everything slowly changed. At this moment, Su Qiuyu couldn't wait to throw herself into Qin Feng's arms and let him satisfy her empty body. Buzz, 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 buzz. Strange energy waves rippled in the empty courtyard house. Wherever the angel's sword fell, an assassin would die. Originally, over 100 assassins had surrounded Qin Feng like tigers eyeing their prey. They disdainfully expressed their desire to tear Qin Feng into 1,000 pieces. However, in less than 10 minutes, those assassins were so scared that they wet their pants. Not to mention tearing Qin Feng into 1,000 pieces, they didn't even have the courage to fight Qin Feng. The smell of blood in the air became heavier and heavier. The ground was littered with corpses. There were fewer and fewer people left standing. These assassins couldn't fight back at all. Rumble. Suddenly, a muffled sound came from mid-air. A huge battle axe flew out, breaking through the air and making a series of wind-breaking sounds. It was heading straight for Qin Feng. Buzz! Qin Feng backhanded his sword. The angel's sword emitted a strange energy. The battle axe fell to the ground, but the powerful force didn't dissipate. Qin Feng had to take 3 steps back before he could stabilize his body. Qin Feng couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood as soon as he regained his balance. The battle axe contained strong inner qi, and it was a sneak attack. Qin Feng didn't use his full strength to block it. He didn't expect to be hit. Qin Feng, are you okay? Don't scare me. Su Qiuyu, who had been hiding in the small dark room, ran out when she saw this scene. Su Qiuyu hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly. Her spirited eyes were covered with a layer of mist. She looked like she was about to cry. Watch out. Qin Feng's expression suddenly changed. He pushed Su Qiuyu to the side. Rumble. Another huge battle axe flew in mid-air. Qin Feng circulated his inner qi and raised his sword to meet it. Buzz. The angel's sword shone with a white light. The strange energy waves became more intense. The assassins on the ground were covered by the light. They held their heads and rolled on the ground in pain. Bang! The huge battle axe was cut down by Qin Feng's sword. The energy in the axe pressed forward. Qin Feng hurriedly struck out with his palm. The 2 air currents collided in mid-air, creating a huge explosion. Puff! Qin Feng was knocked to the ground by the aftermath of the explosion. He spat out another mouthful of blood. Su Qiuyu, who had always been strong and steady, threw herself into Qin Feng's arms and cried, "Woo woo! Qin Feng, you can't be hurt. You can't be hurt." Qin Feng was hit twice in a row. His inner qi and blood were in disorder. He felt like a raging sea. Qin Feng held Su Qiuyu in his arms. He couldn't find the words to comfort her. He could only caress her back and tell her not to worry. AA 2705221. Chapter 770. Are you Qin Feng? Aren't you dead? An old, hoarse voice came from the dark. An old man in a black robe was standing in the courtyard. Behind him, 8 gold medal assassins of the Golden Assassin crew stood in a row. These 9 people were the top assassins in the Golden Group of the Golden Assassin crew. The old man standing at the front was Golden Number 1. He was called leader by his subordinates. The other 8 people were Golden Number 2 to Golden Number 9. The Golden Group was the core strength of the Golden Assassin crew. Although there were only 9 people in the Golden Group, they were many times more powerful than all the members of the other 3 groups combined. Even the weakest among them was a Stage 8 Inner Qi expert. Let us go now, or I'll call the police. Su Qiuyu was a Stage 4 Inner Qi expert. She could sense the aura of these 9 people. Compared to the other assassins, these 9 people were many times more powerful. Call the police? Haha, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Golden One guffawed. Halfway through his laughter, he suddenly turned his cold gaze to Qin Feng. How dare you make trouble in my territory and kill so many of my men? Tell me, how should I torture you? The chaotic aura in Qin Feng's body had not completely stabilized, but he had already stood up with Su Qiuyu in his arms. Qin Feng shielded Su Qiuyu behind him and looked at Golden Number 1 calmly. This is only the beginning. I'm here to annihilate your family tonight. Su Qiuyu was startled by Qin Feng's words. Her heart was in her throat. Golden Number 1's old face suddenly darkened, and his figure disappeared. You're courting death, Golden Number 1 roared. He moved as fast as lightning and flew like a bat. He picked up the battle axe that was stuck in the ground and instantly appeared above Qin Feng's head. Rumble! The battle axe fell and split the air above Qin Feng's head. Qin Feng could sense his opponent's strength from this simple move. It was obvious that he was a Stage 9 Inner Qi expert. Rumble! There was another loud noise. Qin Feng quickly struck with his hands, and more than 10 balls of destructive fire soared into the sky. Damn it! What the hell is this? As soon as the giant axe hovered above Qin Feng's head, Golden Ones retreated in fear. More than a dozen fireballs scattered in the courtyard house, quickly burning up the surroundings, illuminating the empty courtyard house with a fiery light. You're also a demonic cultivator? At such a young age, he's actually a 7th layer devil cultivator. Haha! What a pity. He's going to die today. Soon. Gold One calmed down from the shock. He thought Qin Feng was a level 7 demon cultivator. If he had a taste of Qin Feng's destructive fire, he wouldn't have said something so stupid. Let's go together and finish this quickly. Golden Ones had run out of patience. With a roar, he charged forward with his giant axe. The other 8 assassins of the Gold Group also suddenly flashed. The 9 of them were like 9 specters, constantly changing their positions, making it hard for people to track them. Buzz! Qin Feng felt the faint sound of the wind beside his ear, and he swung his sword without hesitation. In the air, an assassin from the Gold Group suddenly appeared. That assassin's eyes were filled with astonishment. He felt that his body was suddenly bound by a formless and mysterious force, and he was unable to move at all. He could only watch as Qin Feng's sword descended. A Gold Group assassin was killed so easily. He was a level 8 Inner Qi martial artist. Qin Feng didn't stop. His figure flashed, and he swung his sword at the air again. Boom! A cloud of blood mist spread in the air, followed by the loud explosion of a Gold Group assassin's body. 2 level 8 Inner Qi assassins died in less than half a minute. Suddenly, Gold One's angry roar came from the air. The other 6 gold group assassins immediately retreated. Spread out. There's something wrong with this guy's sword. Almost 100 members of the Golden Assassin crew were killed. When they were about to be annihilated by Qin Feng, Gold One finally noticed the problem with the angel's sword. The 7 gold group assassins were scattered in every corner of the courtyard. These assassins were used to lurking in the dark, waiting to deal a fatal blow to their targets. Qin Feng stood in the center of the courtyard with the angel's sword in his hand. Although he was wearing night vision goggles, he couldn't see the assassin's movements clearly. Qin Feng calmed down and sensed the aura around him. The murderous aura of the assassins couldn't escape Qin Feng's senses. The fire of destruction that was burning fiercely in the courtyard was extinguished one by one. Qin Feng was bewildered. The fire of destruction belonged to the myriad beast's true fire, and ordinary water couldn't extinguish it. He had no idea how the gold group assassins extinguished it. After the fire of destruction was extinguished, the surroundings fell into darkness and silence again. Qin Feng didn't use the fire of destruction to illuminate the surroundings because he was wearing night vision goggles. Moreover, Qin Feng knew the assassins created the darkness on purpose. Only in the dark would they feel safe and attack again. Qin Feng, be careful. Don't let anything happen to you. In the darkness, Su Qiu's heart raced. Her heart was in her throat again. Qin Feng's figure suddenly flashed, and he swung his sword at Su Qiu's head. Buzz! Wherever the angel's sword went, a holy white light flickered and produced a strange energy. It stopped the assassin who was about to ambush Su Qiu. Qin Feng's eyes were spitting fire. He raised his sword and cut the assassin in half. Thud! Qin Feng landed quickly and pulled Su Qiu into his arms. He was scared. If he was 1 second slower, Su Qiu would be dead. Everyone, don't get close to him. That sword is evil. Everyone, attack from afar. Golden Ones roared angrily, and Qin Feng immediately felt the 5 gusts of wind retreat. Su Qiu lay in Qin Feng's arms and refused to come out. She hugged Qin Feng's firm waist tightly. Either we live together or we die together. Suddenly, a group of black shadows flew over, throwing knives, darts, battle axes, pebbles. All kinds of weapons were thrown at Qin Feng like a meteor shower. Qin Feng didn't have time to think. He quickly swung the angel's sword to block the hidden weapons. Ah! Suddenly, Su Qiu let out a blood-curdling scream. A pebble landed on her back, and she spat out a mouthful of blood onto Qin Feng's chest. Qin Feng's eyes burned with a raging fire as he stared at the blood on his chest. Roar! 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 Qin Feng raised his hand and put away the angel's sword. Then, he leaped onto the roof with Su Qiu in his arms and looked down at the 6 gold group assassins. Qin Feng shielded Su Qiu behind him and let the hidden weapons hit his body. The hidden weapons were as dense as rain, making crackling sounds. Qin Feng didn't seem to feel the pain in his body. He shouted coldly, "You are courting death." Roar! 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 Before Qin Feng could finish his roar, a loud roar that seemed to come from ancient times resounded in the sky. In mid-air, a huge object landed. Its body was so huge that it blocked the moonlight in the sky. The huge shadow of the black tortoise landed on the ground, and its shadow covered the entire courtyard house. The assassin from the gold group was dumbfounded when he saw it. Leader, what kind of monster is that? Is that a giant sea turtle? Why is it so big? It's not a sea turtle. It's a python. This is the first time I've seen a python as thick as a tree. Be careful. This thing should be one of the 4 mythical beasts of China. The black tortoise, Golden One, was experienced and knowledgeable. He had already recognized the black tortoise, but it was too late. Who could compete with the black tortoise? Qin Feng stood on the roof with Su Qiu in his arms. Su Qiu was stunned by the black tortoise that fell from the sky. The black tortoise landed on the ground. Standing on the roof, Qin Feng could feel the house shaking violently. Roar! The black tortoise's body occupied 3/4 of the empty courtyard house. It had stayed in Songjiang for too long. Now that it was out on the road, it seemed very excited. The black tortoise could only eat fish and prawns in the river. Now that it could taste humans, it couldn't hide its excitement. Rumble. As soon as they landed, the sea turtle swayed its enormous body. The many-banded kite's tail used inertia to sweep a circle around the courtyard. In an instant, aside from the house Qin Feng was standing in, the other 10 or so houses all collapsed with a loud rumble. Leader, this monster is too strong. Should we retreat? How do we fight it? There's no way we can fight it. The black tortoise had just stretched its arms and legs. The battle hadn't even started yet, but the Golden Group, the strongest members of the Golden Assassin crew, had already turned pale with fright. These top-notch assassins of China would never stop until they killed their targets. However, in the face of absolute power, they instantly forgot the rules of the organization. Golden One was jumping and running around the courtyard house. He was almost sent flying by the many-banded kite's tail. I'll kill whoever dares to run. Golden One had no intention of leaving. After all, this was the base of the Golden Assassin crew. Even if he ran away now, the Golden Taoist would tear him into pieces in the future. Facing the cruelty of the Golden Taoist, Golden One would rather die in battle than be killed by the Golden Taoist. Whoosh! Whoosh! After Golden One gave the order, the other 5 Golden Group assassins didn't dare to run away. The 6 assassins leaped into the air and surrounded the black tortoise in midair. They threw all kinds of hidden weapons at the black tortoise on the ground. Bang! Bang! The hidden weapons were as dense as raindrops and carried powerful inner chi. When they landed on the black tortoise's back, they immediately made loud noises. The black tortoise's shell was harder than a rock. When the hidden weapons landed on its back, they were nothing more than tickles. Roar! Roar! Although the hidden weapons couldn't hurt the black tortoise, they completely enraged it. The sea turtle raised its head and roared crazily. The many-banded kite opened its bloody mouth, and the tens of meters long body that was originally coiled around the sea turtle's back suddenly shot out, swallowing a Gold Group killer in one bite. Ah! This scene was so bloody that Su Qiu screamed in fear. Qin Feng buried Su Qiu's head in his chest to prevent her from looking. Then he used his other hand to gently stroke her smooth, jade-like back. Awoo! The many-banded kite didn't know if the first assassin was digested or not. It opened its mouth and swallowed the second assassin. Only the 4 Golden Group assassins were left in midair. Their expressions changed drastically, and their bodies began to tremble in fear. Retreat! Golden One shouted quickly and was the first to retreat. The other 3 also hurriedly retreated. However, one of them was a step too late and was swallowed by the many-banded kite. After eating 3 people in a row, the many-banded kite seemed to be stuck. It raised its head, and its stomach rumbled. The 3 remaining assassins felt their scalps go numb when they heard the sound. AA 2705221. Chapter 771. Boss, this monster is too scary. I can't take it anymore. I have to go. As soon as he landed, one of the killers started to run. When he reached the gate of the courtyard house, his body suddenly froze. He trembled a few times and fell straight into a pool of blood. After throwing the flying daggers, Golden One withdrew his hand and looked at the other killer with a ferocious expression. You want to run too? The killer was about to run, but his head shook like a rattled drum. I won't run. Then continue to fight for me, Golden One roared. When he was about to leap up and attack Black Tortoise, he suddenly heard a gust of wind. When he turned around to look at the last gold assassin, he had already been hit by the kite's tail. His body was now stuck in the wall and smashed into a meat patty. Hiss! Golden One had killed at least hundreds of people, if not thousands. However, he couldn't help but gasp when he saw this scene. The Golden Assassin crew, the most powerful organization in Huaxia, had been wiped out in one night? Even though he saw it with his own eyes, Golden One found it hard to accept. The truth came so fast that Golden One was caught unprepared. Roar! 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 Golden One was the only living person in the courtyard house. Black Tortoise moved its body, and the kite kept roaring at Golden One with its mouth wide open. It hadn't swallowed Golden One yet, not because it was full, but because it was waiting for its master's order. Golden One finally came back to his senses. Looking at the mess around him, his ferocious expression kept changing. Finally, he threw his head back and laughed. Black Tortoise was obviously dissatisfied with Golden One's laughter, so it roared even more violently. However, Golden One didn't seem to be afraid at all as he stood in front of Black Tortoise. Instead, there was an evil smile in his eyes. Ha ha ha! Qin Feng, I didn't expect you to push the Golden Assassin crew to this point. In that case, I'll show you the true strength of the Golden Assassin crew. Golden One leaped and landed on the wall of the courtyard house. His laughter was unbridled. He grabbed with both hands, and dozens of yellow talismans suddenly appeared in his hands. When Qin Feng saw the talismans, he felt a sense of familiarity. This was because when Qin Feng first came to the capital, he had set up a stall on Yulin Street to sell talismans for a while, and those simplest talismans were all made by Qin Feng himself. Golden One suddenly became talkative. He continued, "Do you know how the Golden Assassin crew got its name? Of course you don't. Let me tell you. In the boundless world, there were all sorts of strange things. There was a group of people who could be said to be omnipotent. They were gold warlocks. Gold warlocks are mysterious and powerful. They use metallurgy to concoct miraculous elixirs and elixirs, seeking the way of immortality. They can also refine miraculous talismans, create invincible golem legions, refine miraculous magic treasures and spirit weapons, and even summon and sacrifice undying beings to control thousands of golems for their own use. The leader of the Golden Assassin group, Golden Taoist Priest, is a gold warlock, and I am his only disciple. You dare to cause trouble at my Golden Assassin group's base? Today, I will let you experience the might of a gold warlock." Rumble. The talisman in Golden One's hand suddenly exploded, scattering on the corpses on the ground. As soon as the talisman touched the corpses, it burned into a wisp of black smoke and disappeared. The killers on the ground, who were dead, suddenly got up one by one. "Ah, Qin Feng, what's going on?" This scene was so strange that Su Qiu's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Qin Feng was also shocked. He didn't expect the Golden Assassin crew to be an organization ruled by a gold warlock. Qin Feng knew a little about metallurgy in China. As early as the Warring States period, there were records of metallurgy. The content was very complicated, and its purpose was to use artificial methods to make elixirs that could make people live forever and be used to make gold. These elixirs were called divine elixirs. It was rumored that metallurgy could make people live forever, have superior intelligence, and have a strong physique. Could even change a person's appearance and spirit, and reach the level of gods. Qin Feng had always thought that these were all lies. However, looking at the corpses crawling up from the ground, Qin Feng couldn't help but look at the world in a new light. Qin Feng suddenly understood many things. No wonder the Golden Assassin crew only took gold as payment for killing people. Roar. Black Tortoise seemed to be shocked by this illogical scene. After a while, he raised his head to the sky and roared again. "Ha ha! I'll let you monster taste the power of my puppet army." Golden Ones became crazy. Like a madman, he waved his hands in the air quickly. The assassins, who were already dead, pounced on the Black Tortoise. Some of the assassins had their limbs severed by Qin Feng's wind blades. Their movements were terrifying, and Su Qiu's body trembled. Roar. Black Tortoise was infuriated by these disgusting puppets. The sea turtle twisted its body vigorously, and the many-banded kite swung its huge body out of the courtyard house. It instantly knocked away all the puppets that pounced on it. Bang! 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 The air was filled with the sound of collisions. Countless puppets crashed into the ground and walls. Rows of houses were knocked down, and dozens of human-shaped holes appeared on the ground. However, the puppets summoned by Golden Ones didn't feel any pain. They were fine even though they were smashed into the ground. They jumped up and continued to pounce on Black Tortoise like moths flying into a flame. Black Tortoise was completely infuriated by these puppets. The sea turtle raised its head and roared at the sky. Its roars were as loud as thunder, making Suchio Yu's head hurt. The many-banded kite opened its bloody mouth and spat at the puppets around it. The saliva of the many-banded kite contained highly corrosive venom. When the venom landed on the puppets, it corroded them into black mist. Puff, puff, puff. The many-banded kite turned its head and spewed venom as if it didn't cost anything. It rained venom on the courtyard house. The more than 40 puppets all turned into black mist and were blown away by the strong wind. Yaya, you bastard! I'll make you die a horrible death. Golden Ones had just summoned more than 50 puppets, but they were all destroyed by Black Tortoise in a few moves. He was so angry that he glared at Black Tortoise. Golden Ones clapped his hands, and dozens of yellow talismans flew out. The talismans landed on the bodies of dozens of killers, and the killers who had been dead for a long time jumped up from the ground. Mani me ku! Golden Ones muttered a strange spell at a fast speed. No one knew what he was saying. Bang! Suddenly, the bodies of the second batch of summoned puppets exploded. The eyes of the more than 40 puppets turned red, and they all stared at Black Tortoise. Golden Ones muttered a spell and roared, "Attack the giant serpent. Cut its flesh and drink its blood." The summoned puppets seemed to understand Golden One's words. The more than 40 killers flashed and lay on the many-banded kite's body. After a round of fighting, Golden Ones had discovered Black Tortoise's weakness. Black Tortoise's turtle shell was indestructible, but the many-banded kite's body could be attacked. Black Tortoise's overall combat ability depended on the many-banded kite. As long as the many-banded kite was destroyed, the remaining giant turtles would pose no threat. Puff! Rumble! Dozens of top killers lay on the many-banded kite's giant body, and the daggers and machetes in their hands stabbed into its flesh. The many-banded kite roared like thunder, and black blood dyed half of its body red. The giant turtles were also roaring crazily, and their giant bodies spun around desperately. Roar! The many-banded kite swung its thick body, and the huge impact sent the puppets flying. The killer puppets crashed into the wall and the ground, and their bodies were deformed. However, in the next second, they leaped up and pounced on the many-banded kite as if they had been revived. "How dare you touch my great Black Tortoise? You're seeking death." Suchio Yu frowned when she saw that Black Tortoise was injured, and she clutched Qin Feng's arm tightly. Suddenly, Suchio Yu felt that her hand was empty. She didn't know when Qin Feng had landed on Black Tortoise's back. In the air, the killer puppets were densely packed, and they came at Black Tortoise from afar like raindrops. Black Tortoise's roar was like thunder, and it shook the ground. Buzz! The angel's sword danced in the air, and streaks of holy white light appeared. Strange energy waves appeared in the surroundings, and Qin Feng appeared in the air with his sword. Puff! Qin Feng raised his sword and cut 3 killer puppets into pieces. After these killers were turned into puppets, they became even more evil things. The light emitted by the angel's sword became more intense and dazzling. When the sword touched the killer puppets, their bodies turned into smoke and dissipated with the wind. Die, all of you! Qin Feng's sword fell, and he landed on Black Tortoise's back. As soon as he landed, he tapped the ground with the tip of his foot, and his figure flew toward the many-banded kite's head again. Buzz! Buzz! Qin Feng released 3 ferocious swords at the same time. In the air, 8 killer puppets suddenly appeared, turned into smoke, and disappeared. Qin Feng's figure flashed continuously. Every time he appeared, a few holy sword lights flashed. Those killer puppets couldn't withstand a single blow from the angel's sword, and more than half of them were instantly killed by Qin Feng. Soon, the second batch of killer puppets that Qin Feng had summoned all disappeared. All the corpses in the courtyard house were killed. Seeing the situation change, Golden One was so angry that smoke was coming out of his head. Even if he wanted to use the summoning talisman again, there were no more puppets for him to summon. Qin Feng, it's either you or I who will die today. Golden One had been bullied for the whole night, and he felt like he was going to become a punching bag. With a roar that resounded in the night sky, Golden One leaped up and arrived above Qin Feng's head. The powerful aura of Stage 9 inner chi surged and enveloped Qin Feng and Black Tortoise. Boom! Golden One swung his battle axe down, splitting the air in half. The sharp sound of wind breaking rang out, and Qin Feng hurried to jump away. The magnificent axe energy smashed on the turtle's shell, and the ground shook violently. Roar! With a roar, Black Tortoise turned around and crawled toward Golden One. The aura of Stage 9 inner chi was so powerful that even Qin Feng didn't dare to fight it head-on. However, when the axe fell on Black Tortoise's back, the turtle's shell wasn't damaged at all. The turtle's shell was so hard that it could block missiles. Puff! 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 The many-banded krite's thick body was flung away, and the blood on its body had dried up. It opened its bloody mouth and spat a few mouthfuls of saliva into the air. Instantly, the area where Golden One was standing was covered in a poisonous rain, and the ground and walls were corroded by the poisonous liquid and bubbled. Ah, you monster! I'm going to tear you into pieces! Golden One tried his best to avoid the poisonous rain, but he was still stained by a few drops of the poisonous liquid. The poisonous liquid that the many-banded krite spat out was so horrifying that it corroded Golden One's black robe and caused black smoke to rise from it. Even the skin on his arm was corroded, and his flesh was rotting. AA 2705221. Chapter 772. Black Tortoise's venom was terrifying. Not only was it highly corrosive, but it also spread very quickly. Originally, only a small drop of venom had splashed on Golden One's arm. Unexpectedly, the venom corroded Golden One's entire left arm, causing his muscles to wither and bleed, exposing his white bones. Su Qiuyu, who was on the roof, shrieked in fear. Bang! Golden One was driven to desperation. He swung the battle axe in his right hand, and his entire left arm was sent flying. The venom that was about to corrode his body also disappeared along with his left arm. Arg! Qin Feng, you will die a horrible death. I will take you down with me. A heart-wrenching pain spread throughout the Golden Assassin's body. His eyes were bloodshot with anger, and he roared like a mad beast. The Golden Assassin crew was the top assassin organization in Huaxia. Before tonight, the mere mention of this organization was enough to make many forces in Huaxia tremble in fear. No one dared to provoke the Golden Assassin crew. Everyone just hoped that they wouldn't be targeted by this cruel and powerful organization. As the most powerful assassin in the Golden Assassin crew, Golden One's status was second only to the Golden Assassin crew. He had run amok in Huaxia for more than 10 years, and today was the first time he had been so embarrassed. Rumble! Golden One, who had lost an arm, had completely entered a berserk mode. His eyes were filled with the flames of revenge, and he no longer cared about his life. The huge axe swung down from the sky toward the many-banded krite. The many-banded krite seemed to have sensed the powerful airflow in the axe. It twisted its body frantically and anxiously while it roared at Golden One in the sky. Puff! 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 The many-banded krite spat out a few mouthfuls of venom. Surprisingly, Golden One ignored the venom attack. Instead of retreating, he suddenly sped up. The huge axe in his hand was already on the head of the many-banded krite, ready to chop off its head at any moment. Roar! The venom sprayed all over Golden One's body. His skin, flesh, and blood bubbled under the intense corrosion. The skin on Golden One's face was so wrinkled that one could see the skeleton underneath. Black Tortoise, come back! Seeing that the axe was about to graze the many-banded krite's head, Qin Feng's expression changed drastically, and he hurriedly shouted. Black Tortoise instantly turned into a white light and disappeared from the courtyard house. Rumble! Golden One's axe had already fallen, but it hit nothing but the ground. A series of loud noises rang out one after another, and the entire courtyard house shook violently. A crack as thick as an arm appeared on the ground, extending from the gate all the way to the main house. Bang, bang, bang. The explosion of the airflow was not over yet. Golden Ones had unleashed all of his internal chi in this strike, and the earth-shattering momentum was even more powerful than an earthquake. If the strike had landed on the head of the many-banded kite, it would have been split into halves. Rumble. Suddenly, the room in the main residence collapsed. Su Qiuyu, who was standing on the roof, fell down along with the tiles. Dust filled the air, and Su Qiuyu's scream could be heard from inside. Qin Feng, save me. Before Su Qiuyu could finish her sentence, Qin Feng's figure flashed. In the next moment, two figures flew out from the ruins. Qin Feng held Su Qiuyu's slender waist with one hand and the angel's sword in the other. They landed steadily on the ground. Qin Feng, just you wait, Taoist Master Gold. Golden Ones knelt on the ground. His entire body was being corroded by the venom. The heart-wrenching pain made Golden Ones unable to speak clearly, and he screamed in agony. His skin and flesh had long been charred, and the blood that oozed out of his body mixed with the venom, producing a crackling sound. The entire courtyard was filled with a foul stench, and Su Qiuyu was so disgusted that she covered her mouth and almost threw up. Qin Feng felt disgusted. He raised his sword, and Golden Ones instantly turned into smoke, dispersing with the wind. The Golden Assassin Syndicate's base was completely destroyed. Hundreds of top assassins in the base had all turned into smoke and disappeared. Su Qiuyu was dumbfounded by this scene. She hadn't seen Qin Feng for a long time, and she didn't expect him to be so powerful. At the same time, in a remote town in South Africa, a man in a black robe with an indistinct face was sitting in a pitch-black room. There was an LCD TV hanging on the wall of the room, and the situation at the Golden Assassin Syndicate's base was playing on it. Bang! Seeing Golden Ones dead and the Golden Assassin Syndicate's base in Huaxia completely destroyed, the man in the black robe clapped his hand, and the LCD TV instantly exploded. The man in the black robe had a ferocious look on his face. He gritted his teeth and said, "Qin Feng, remember this. I'll get back at you." The man was none other than the leader behind the Golden Assassin Syndicate, the Golden Taoist. "Qin Feng, where's that big monster? Did you bring it here?" After a while, Su Qiuyu had calmed down. The foul stench of the Golden Assassin Syndicate's base had also been blown away by the cold wind. Only Qin Feng and Su Qiuyu were left in the spacious courtyard house. If the houses around them hadn't collapsed, it would have been as if nothing had happened. "That's not a monster. It's my pet. It's called Black Tortoise," Qin Feng explained to Su Qiuyu. Su Qiuyu stared at Qin Feng, dumbfounded. This Qin Feng was indeed a weirdo. How could he keep such a big monster as a pet? Where did he catch this huge monster? That big monster was your pet. "Qin Feng, do you want to let it go? What if it's unhappy one day and spits at you?" Su Qiuyu had personally witnessed the terror of Black Tortoise's venom. She was truly worried about Qin Feng. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He didn't know how to explain to Su Qiuyu. If that Black Tortoise dared to spit at him, Qin Feng would cook it alive and drink turtle soup. "Qiuyu, don't worry. That big guy looks scary, but it's actually very cute. If you like it, I'll catch one for you too." Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at Su Qiuyu. Su Qiuyu shook her head in fright. "I don't want to. Why don't you ask Xia Tian if she likes it? I'm sure she doesn't like it either. I just came from the Su family's old mansion. Xia Tian and the elder are waiting for you. They were worried sick." Qin Feng immediately thought of business when Su Qiuyu mentioned Xia Tian. Su Qiuyu screamed and quickly took out her phone to call her grandfather. After Su Qiuyu told her grandfather that she was safe, her worried heart finally relaxed. She lay in Qin Feng's warm and strong chest, feeling safe and secure. "Qin Feng, Grandpa said dinner is ready. He's waiting for us to go back and reunite. Xia Tian also wants to see us. She said you didn't bring her to see me. She's still angry at you." Su Qiuyu instantly felt the warmth of home because of Qin Feng's appearance. Usually, there was only her sister, and her grandfather in the Su family. Everyone felt that something was missing. Now, Su Qiuyu understood that this family still lacked Qin Feng. Only when Qin Feng came would the family become warm and reunited. Why would Xia Tian be angry at me? Once I go back, she'll immediately pounce on me and hug me. Qin Feng joked as he caressed Su Qiu's jade-like back. Halfway through, Qin Feng changed the topic. Before I go back, I have something important to take care of. Why don't you go back to the Su family first? I'll go and reunite with you after I'm done. What are you going to do? Su Qiu had just met Qin Feng, so she developed a strong dependence on him. When she knew Qin Feng was going to leave, she instinctively tightened her grip on his arm. This small action did not escape Qin Feng's eyes. It made him very happy. In the past, Su Qiu was adept at being independent. She was indifferent to all men, so Qin Feng was not worthy of her attention. Not long after, Su Qiu began to cling to Qin Feng like a little girl. This gave Qin Feng the thrill of conquering a goddess. Now that I'm in the provincial capital, I have to visit the Liang family. The Liang family has been living too comfortably recently. I'm gonna knock them down a peg. Qin Feng had nothing to hide in front of Su Qiu. Su Qiu's beautiful brows slightly furrowed. She had just escaped from danger with Qin Feng, and now Qin Feng was going to cause trouble for the Liang family. Su Qiu was touched, but at the same time, she was worried about Qin Feng. Qin Feng, can you not go? Su Qiu looked at Qin Feng lovingly. Qin Feng's heart skipped a beat. He smoothed Su Qiu's hair that was messed up by the wind and said firmly, "No, those bastards are blind and offended my woman." Qin Feng's tone was unquestionable, and his expression was resolute and handsome. Su Qiu's heart melted instantly. The emptiness and loneliness that had been suppressed in her heart for a long time burst out at this moment. Su Qiu hugged Qin Feng's neck, stood on her tiptoes, and kissed Qin Feng's lips. "Qin Feng, Qin Feng was stunned. In his memory, Su Qiu was very conservative. At this moment, Su Qiu was charming and charming. Qin Feng grabbed Su Qiu and leaped into the air with her in his arms. Neigh! A horse neighed, and Qin Feng leaped onto the flaming dragon horse. Su Qiu's body melted. She lay in Qin Feng's arms and refused to get up. Her expression changed slightly when she saw the flaming dragon horse. "Qin Feng, where did you get this horse?" Su Qiu asked while caressing Qin Feng's body. "It's also one of my pets. It's convenient to have a horse. We can play with it." Qin Feng looked at Su Qiu with a smile. Su Qiu's cheeks were flushed. Every frown and smile of hers could captivate one's soul. Qin Feng could no longer suppress the wildness in his heart. He hugged Su Qiu and started to go crazy. The flaming dragon horse seemed to have sensed the passion between Qin Feng and Su Qiu, so it was very excited along the way. The flaming dragon horse galloped as fast as lightning, neighing all the way. Although it was late at night and there were very few pedestrians and cars on the street, the occasional cars and passers-by were shocked when they saw the flaming dragon horse. The jolting of the flaming dragon horse increased the intensity of Qin Feng and Su Qiu's exercise. Both of them were in high spirits as they experienced an unprecedented thrill. Neigh! Neigh! After some time, the flaming dragon horse suddenly raised its front hooves and neighed. Qin Feng and Su Qiu had just finished their business, so they quickly put on their clothes. Su Qiu got off the horse and looked around. Where did the flaming dragon horse go? Qin Feng, am I dreaming? Su Qiu felt that everything that happened tonight was too strange. First, the giant black tortoise disappeared, and then the horse disappeared. How can it be a dream? I really bit your whole body just now. You had a strong reaction. Qin Feng pretended not to understand Su Qiu's words and started to answer her question. He couldn't help but pinch Su Qiu's chest. Su Qiu pouted and leaned into Qin Feng's arms. She was too embarrassed to look at Qin Feng. All right, after we beat up the Liang family, we can go back and reunite with Xia Tian and Grandpa. Qin Feng kicked the two large red doors in front of him away. Then he swaggered into the courtyard with Su Qiu in his arms. Su Qiu looked at the situation in the courtyard and realized that she and Qin Feng had arrived at the Liang family's old mansion. AA 2705221. Chapter 773. Who are you? How dare you break into the Liang family's residence in the middle of the night? You must be tired of living. As soon as Qin Feng entered the house, he sent the Liang family's main doors flying with a kick. The two doors smashed into the windows of the main house opposite, creating a large hole in one of the walls. Such a huge commotion quickly attracted the attention of the Liang family's guards. Suddenly, 6 shadows leaped out of the darkness. The 6 guards roared angrily and swung their fists at Qin Feng. Qin Feng, be careful. By the time Su Qiuyu sensed the danger, Qin Feng had already dashed out. Su Qiuyu only heard a few screams in midair. She didn't know when Qin Feng had returned to her side. Are you okay? Su Qiuyu was a stage 4 inner chi martial artist. In a small place like Sky City, a stage 4 inner chi martial artist was very powerful. However, since she followed Qin Feng tonight, Su Qiuyu's little heart had suffered a heavy blow. She didn't even see Qin Feng's movements clearly before the battle was over. Bang, 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 bang. The 6 guards landed in different corners of the courtyard, and the ringing of bells did not stop. The Liang family's old mansion was originally immersed in darkness, but the lights in a dozen or so rooms were lit up one after another. In less than a minute, people ran out of their rooms. What the hell are they doing in the middle of the night? Why aren't they sleeping? The first to come out was Liang Hui's son, Liang Kai. Relying on his family's power, Liang Kai was usually an arrogant and despotic rich second generation in the capital. It would be strange if Liang Kai didn't stomp his feet when his sweet dreams were disturbed in the middle of the night. After Liang Kai came out, people ran out of the other rooms one after another. Big brother Kai, what's going on? Are our guards having sex in the courtyard in the middle of the night? A young man about the same age as Liang Kai ran to Liang Kai's side. He was Liang Chao, Liang Su's son. Who knows? I just came out. If the guards are really messing around in the courtyard, I'll beat them to death. Liang Kai rolled his eyes at Liang Chao and roared angrily. What the hell? These damn guards eat our Liang family's food every day, use our Liang family's things, and have sex in the middle of the night? The most infuriating thing is that they didn't call me along. These guards really need to be taught a lesson. Liang Chao also complained. The Liang family members who came out from the other houses couldn't figure out the situation for a while. Everyone whispered to each other and discussed all kinds of things. The old master of the Liang family, Liang Qitian, had already walked out of the main residence. Just now, when Qin Feng kicked the Liang family's 2 large iron doors, they crashed into the wall of the main residence. Liang Qitian was sleeping soundly when he suddenly felt the house shake violently. He thought it was an earthquake in the middle of the night, so he hurriedly ran out. What's going on? Why did everyone come out? Was it really an earthquake? Nothing happened to anyone, right? Liang Qitian just ran out of the house and saw that the courtyard was full of people. He thought that it was an earthquake. When the 6 guards who were sent flying by Qin Feng heard Liang Qitian's words, they almost fainted from anger. The 6 of them forcefully propped themselves up and quickly ran over. Liang family patriarch, be careful. Someone has intruded into the Liang family mansion. One of the guards shouted, scaring everyone in the Liang family into chaos. What? Someone trespassed into our Liang family? Where is he? Why can't I see him? Who ran in here? Is he a thug? Quick, arrest him. Someone. The Liang family's relatives were all cowards. When they heard that someone had broken into their house, they acted as if they had seen a ghost. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. A gust of wind blew in the night sky, and dozens of black shadows surrounded them. They were all the guards of the Liang family. Liang family patriarch, we're late. We've made everyone worried. More than 20 guards surrounded the Liang family. Soon, they discovered Qin Feng and Su Qiuyu's presence. The 2 of them were standing in a dark corner. The Liang family was in a state of shock, so they didn't notice Qin Feng and Su Qiuyu for a while. Who are you? Tell me your name. How dare you break into the Liang family in the middle of the night? How dare you? The guards yelled at Qin Feng arrogantly. Qin Feng had changed his appearance to Chao Feng. He looked at the row of guards and said, I'm here to discuss business with Liang Qitian. If the rest of you don't want to be beaten, you can leave now. Qin Feng's calm voice set off a storm in the hearts of the Liang family. Qin Feng's words were too arrogant. Since the establishment of the Liang family, this was the first time they met someone as arrogant as Qin Feng. How dare you? You're talking nonsense. You're asking for a beating. When the guards saw the Liang family patriarch's face darkened, they pounced at Qin Feng in fear. The 10 guards turned into 10 black shadows and flickered, while the remaining guards continued to protect the Liang family members. Su Qiuyu was nervous, but before she could warn Qin Feng, the air was filled with violent collision sounds. Bang! 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 Qin Feng's figure appeared in the crowd. His iron fists were like a tiger. Wherever his fists passed, there seemed to be thunder and tiger roars. The special thunder tiger fists were unstoppable and as fast as lightning. The 10 guards of the Liang family couldn't react in time, and all of them were hit by Qin Feng's fists. They fell to the ground and couldn't get up. Qin Feng's fighting speed was very fast. It was so fast that it seemed like the fight was over before it even started. The Liang family members watched this scene with their mouths agape. Many of them forgot to breathe. They felt like they were still in a daze. Who are you? Why did you come to my Liang family to cause trouble? Liang Qitian felt a little guilty. Half of the 10 guards were stage 4 inner chi martial artists, and 2 of them were stage 6 inner chi experts. However, such a strong team couldn't even withstand one move from Qin Feng. It made Liang Qitian's heart turn cold. Who I am isn't important. What's important is that I want to talk to you about something. Qin Feng looked at Liang Qitian indifferently. A few minutes ago, Qin Feng said he wanted to talk to Liang Qitian. At that time, the Liang family members stared at Qin Feng with disdain. They obviously looked down on Qin Feng and thought he was not qualified to talk to the elder. Now that Qin Feng had stated his purpose, the Liang family members shut their mouths and didn't dare to let out a fart. What do you want to talk about? Liang Qitian asked with a trembling voice. I want to talk about your Liang family's Liang Yao Group. I want you to hand over all your shares of Liang Yao Group and let Su Qin Pharmaceuticals buy your medical group, Qin Feng said with a serious expression. He had always been serious when it came to business. Whoosh! The crowd immediately started discussing. Liang Yao Group was the capital for the Liang family to enjoy the life of a rich young master. If the medical group was sold, everyone would have nothing to eat in the future. Although the Liang family members were somewhat fearful of Qin Feng's skills, they clearly didn't plan on backing down on this matter. Stinking brat, what the fuck are you talking about? You want Su Qin Pharmaceuticals to swallow up our Liang Yao Group? Is there something wrong with your brain? Liang Kai was used to being arrogant. At this time, he lost his temper and roared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng's gaze shifted to Liang Kai. He interrupted him and asked, What? It seems like you have an opinion? Liang Kai relied on the Liang family's numbers and was not afraid of Qin Feng. He said frivolously, Of course I have an opinion. I'm warning you. Don't think that you can be in my Liang family just because you know some mediocre martial arts. Whoosh! Liang Kai's arrogant voice stopped abruptly halfway through his shout. There was a crisp sound of wind in the air. A white light flashed in the air. The Liang family's dozen or so guards looked at the white light flickering in confusion. No one reacted at all. My legs. My legs are gone. Liang Kai's heart-wrenching scream suddenly rang out. Everyone hurriedly looked at him. They saw Liang Kai's calf, which had been cut off at the knee, fell to the side. Liang Kai's remaining leg was kneeling on the ground, and the ground was bleeding like a river. This scene was strange and bloody. Many of the Liang family members screamed involuntarily. Even Su Qiuyu covered her mouth in fear. She quickly closed her eyes and didn't dare to watch anymore. Does anyone else have an opinion? You can raise it all at once. After Qin Feng cut off Liang Kai, he glanced at the Liang family members calmly, as if he wasn't the one who cut off Liang Kai's legs. The people of the Liang family gasped. They could no longer remain calm. When they looked at Qin Feng, their eyes were filled with terror. The people of the Liang family felt that Qin Feng was simply a demon that crawled out from hell. His attacks were too cruel and ruthless. How dare you be so cruel to my grandson? Capture him. Capture him. I want to tear him into pieces and feed his lowly flesh to the wild dogs. The rage in Liang Qian's heart exploded when he saw Liang Kai's miserable state. The Liang family was one of the 5 small families in the provincial capital. They were powerful and had many experts. Liang Qian had never been threatened like this. Even if he had to fight to the death, he had to capture Qin Feng. Otherwise, the Liang family would lose face in the provincial capital in the future. Whoosh! Whoosh! Liang Qian's roar was as loud as thunder. More than a dozen black shadows appeared in the void. They were obviously the new guards of the Liang family. Compared to the guards who had arrived at the beginning of the battle, this group of people was much stronger. There was even a stage 8 inner Qi expert among them. What's going on, Grand Elder? An old man in a black training suit leaped to Liang Qian's side. He was the only stage 8 inner Qi expert among the guards. Liang Qian's confidence was immediately boosted when he saw the old man. He pointed at Qin Feng and yelled, "Elder Zhang, go and capture that stinking brat." He broke into the Liang family's old mansion and injured Liang Kai. Elder Zhang was the number 1 guard of the Liang family. He held a high position in the Liang family. Even the direct descendants of the Liang family had to greet him respectfully as Uncle Zhang when they saw him. The rest of the Liang family members became arrogant when they saw Uncle Zhang. It was as if they had caught a straw in the water. "Uncle Zhang, that brat is too arrogant. He threatened to destroy the Liang family. He even threatened Grandpa to hand over the Liang Yao group's shares. He even cut off Liang Kai's big brother Tang's legs. He's ruthless. Uncle Zhang, you must chop him into pieces." The Liang family members kept saying that Qin Feng was ruthless and ruthless, but the words they shouted were even more bloody. They said they would chop Qin Feng into pieces and dismember him into pieces. Uncle Zhang swept a glance at Liang Kai, who was lying in a pool of blood. His eyes burned with fury. Uncle Zhang glared at Qin Feng and bellowed with disdain, "You audacious brat! How dare you injure young Master Liang Kai in the Liang family's old mansion? I'll give you a chance to live. Kneel on the ground, kowtow to the Liang family, and apologize. Then, cut off your arms and legs, and I'll spare your life." Uncle Zhang had already sized Qin Feng up. He saw that Qin Feng was young and didn't emit a powerful aura. Obviously, Uncle Zhang did not take Qin Feng seriously. Su Qiu ran to Qin Feng's side. She could feel Uncle Zhang's powerful aura. She began to worry about Qin Feng again. Why is Qin Feng so disobedient? Why did he come to the Liang family alone to cause trouble? In Su Qiu's eyes, Qin Feng was courting death. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.